Hello and welcome to Blood and Song. It is a pleasure to see you all again. How are we today? It's rhetorical, you can't answer. Crew, how are you? I'm joined tonight by Dan, who plays Lak.
Hello!
Brad, who plays Octavius.
Hi.
That was so underwhelming.
less enthusiastic, Brad.
Sean, who plays Six.
Balance it.
Yes, that is... Yeah.
Less said. Christine, who plays Faeza.
Hello.
And Ryan, who channels Ripper.
What?
Case in point.
Blaze is a strong word. And how are we all this fine Monday Eve?
Doing well.
Summer's Eve.
Doing well.
I'm really well. I
fiance's
went to the
which is
Science
why- oh,
Museum
God.
today. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you because I
No,
went to the
please
Science
do.
Museum today.
Nice.
And how was that?
It was great. It was really cool, and we spent loads of time there. And obviously, the little one enjoyed it, but we enjoyed it more. We went to like the playroom upstairs, the Wonder Walk or whatever it's called. Wonder Walk. I don't know. It's not Wonder Wall, but we learned a lot, and they discharged a Tesla coil with 1 million volts worth of electricity
In public?
Regularly.
Never discharge your Tesla coil in
Never.
public.
No, well, you know, you can get arrested for that. But it was amazing. It was like real life magic,
Cool.
wasn't it? But
I've got to
science.
say, I'm loving your shirt as well tonight. I didn't say it before the
Thanks.
stream started.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's, some real Ace Ventura vibes in a good way.
Yeah, along with the Ace Ventura hair going on. Yeah,
Yeah,
all round.
Looking
Good.
Talking
Professional
about
actor there. Professional
interesting
actor.
looks.
Yes.
Brad, you've let your hair grow long.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Suddenly,
listen, on
overnight.
on the subject of hair, we're all sort of doing interesting things sort of on the lead
Yeah.
up to exiting the lockdown, aren't we?
Yeah, the nice metaphor that Dan put in my head, or not metaphor, analogy is the old Play-Doh toys where you push the beard up and it
Right.
pops out the head.
Sorry, Dan, was that an entire thing of mojito?
You just a frozen margarita. Enjoy. I'm gonna have a great time tonight.
Yeah, my fiance's on a walking holiday, which of course I'm not going on, because that sounds awful. It also sounds like a contradiction in terms, doesn't it?
I mean,
but
I quite like the sound of that, but to each their own.
walking holiday, I'm not okay. But it means that I can do weird things with my beard. So I've been enjoying I was gonna just have moustache only, but I thought that would be too much of a shock. So I'm gonna ease people into moustache only.
Please go. Are we gonna? Is this the thing for the next, like, say,
If
2
I
months?
could just
like,
grow this out,
proper-
I would.
Yeah.
It does
You
grow
can
out
then.
quite far, this bit, actually,
Yeah.
to be fair.
Do
I'm
it,
patchy
do it.
here,
You got
but I can
the-
grow this out. all
You
right.
got the beard growing genes.
There's a good
out
family
the family.
friend with
What did you
a
get?
solid
fat
2-inch
genes.
curling ginger moustache.
Yes.
What a legend. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure we've said this before, but do we know why moustaches are associated with manliness in England?
Because
No.
so you could hang your shopping off of it and you wouldn't have to hold 2 things. You could use something else to hold.
Fact!
Definitely it.
shopping.
Let's
Yeah.
not hear the real reason.
It's
Yeah.
in 1700s
Something racism,
English
something
explorer-
something colonialism, something.
Basically, well, no,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not.
yeah. No, I don't really care the answer then.
No, it's basically the English turned up in India, and all the Indian men laughed at them because they were all beardless monkeys, and laughing at all these like white guys turning up looking really well. And they're like, but they all look like children. So the explorers and colonialists used to start growing moustaches to appear manly in India, and then when they came back, wealthy, tanned with spices, they also had beards, and it caught on as a
It
fashion.
became fashionable. So it was the
Okay.
Indians essentially that brought the beards to the, and amongst many, many other things, brought
Yeah.
beards.
All
to
the good
to our
things.
All the
country.
good
Yeah,
things.
but
Nation's
who wore it
favourite
better?
dish. I mean, the Indians.
The Indians,
At
yeah,
all
for
times
sure.
ever.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think
that
it's
is
great
definitely
that our ancestors brought moustaches to our ancestors. That's,
Let's never forget, like, all perfectly groomed Turkish men, all fire in their ears,
Oh, man.
and you know,
Yeah.
I really want to
Wax
do
up
the
their
fire ear
noses.
thing, but it looks terrifying.
it's hilarious. It's wax up the nose. You got to be careful of.
Ooh.
Those are the fun ones.
You're not allowed to just use a candle, right? It's not
I do actually have ear
Do
candles.
it
I
at
haven't
home.
used them yet.
ear candles. I don't want to upset anyone that maybe has an ear candle
They don't
business.
work.
that
They're
watches
very
this. They
vocal
don't.
on Twitter.
They really don't work.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, my ENT specialist always says don't put anything in your ear unless it's us in
Yeah.
hospital doing it for you.
You
It's
got any
never a
problem?
good thing if
Oh, I better
Shrek
take my
does
headphones
it,
out then.
right? That's the thing. If it's in Shrek and he pulls a candle out of his ear,
Yeah, it
if
can't be
anything
good.
is in Shrek, don't do it in real life.
I mean,
That's
I
the-
always think of Father Ted, where he's sat in that corner with just like thousands of wax candles behind him, all made of his own ear.
Oh, God.
Microsuction though, man. Microsuction. That is, if you've got bunged up ears, go and get a little Hoover
nobody
in your
jumped
ear.
to that gag. Everyone's thinking.
No, they didn't. It was very well done,
Yeah.
everyone.
None of us were
Everyone's-
doing that. We
Oh,
were
I was muted. Damn.
It's honestly, it's the best experience you can have.
No, you're making it
Second
worse.
best experience you can have.
Speaking of
Using the word
microsuction,
suction in it.
speaking of microsuction,
No.
lasers and feelings last week. It was good fun, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, thanks everyone. I would love someone. I would love for Johnny to have actually been there because, like, what was wonderful is Lasers and Feelings is there for you to sort of completely go wild and muck about and improvise, and that's sort of Johnny's thing.
I'm well known for my seriousness.
Oh, of course, of course. But it was a lot of fun, and we've got lots of other settings that we're gonna sort of pipe in every so often. I've said already a Matrix one. I'm really looking forward to doing. That's one we've written ourselves. That'll be fun. But anything else you guys are into, if you're like, oh, just chuck this genre in there or try this, like we can do. There's a Mad Max one which is pretty awesome, Blood and Chrome. Yeah, there's a handful of others.
Not Blood and Chrome.
No, yeah, it's called Blood and Chrome. The Mad
Was it
Max one.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
that's
I'm
sort
not
of-
because of the Battlestar.
Oh, that's
Blood
sort
and
of what I
Chrome thing.
wanted to call a cyberpunk game if we played it on this channel. But
I'll have to call it something else.
yeah, I've got someone else now.
But yeah,
Blood
thanks
and
for
Chrome
that,
Dome.
That sounds more Mad Maxian now.
Yeah.
yeah.
See, easily done. He's done.
But
Well,
yeah, we're
thank
all
you.
really excited to get back to to Blood and Song proper, Blood and Song Erionwel. Very exciting.
Good. I'm excited to take you there and see what happens. Talking of seeing what happens, no. Ryan,
No.
socials?
Yeah, I mean, on that segue, how can I not? Come and tell us what you've been doing in your time off. In fact, no, come and tell us what you think would be a good setting for a Lasers and Feelings. You can find us at Blood Song Party on Twitter or Blood and Song on Facebook and Instagram. Come and, like we've just had Matrix. What about like a creepy horror one? Maybe Alien would be quite interesting to do on that.
Let's
Or
see if you can
actually,
come up with a good pun name as well.
Yes.
like
Yes.
Blood and Chrome.
And let
like, oh,
us-
that's not how
let
it's
us know.
like.
There's three things we've got to task you to do. There's four things we've got to task you to do. One, subscribe. Two, tell us what the genre of it would be. For example, if you did The Thing, would be quite a cool setting for it. And you need to tell us what the title would be, and then you need to tell us what the Lasers and Feelings would be, right? And what the
That's far
two
too
ends
much.
of
That's
the
far too
spectrum.
much stuff for people.
Of course it is.
lost you.
Of course
I
it
lost
is.
you.
Yeah.
However, I
even
already
I'm not
know.
doing it.
I already know. Taj is going to do it. So
I Captain
No.
Darcy'd out halfway through that.
I feel like Taj is now just going to not do it just to spite Ryan.
no, he's a nice
Taj.
guy. That's the difference. He's a nice guy, unlike the rest of you.
Don't indulge Ryan.
No, like the rest of us.
We had to indulge him all day Saturday.
He's already done it.
And it was glorious.
He's
That
already
was
done
fun.
it.
Already done it.
He's already
Joker,
done it.
Harley Quinn, and their kids going on a crime spree. Brilliant.
Great.
Oh, yeah, that would be wicked.
Are you Joker or are you Harley Quinn?
No,
Then
we're,
aren't
we're
they
their
both very
kids.
similar? You
Are
need
they
to be
though?
Joker or
No.
Batman, wouldn't you?
No, so
Batman would be tech
we're their
and
kids. That's the point.
Logic.
Blood and face paint.
That's good.
Go.
Yes.
That's good. You're doing the work for them. Yeah, that's good.
Smashed it. Smashed it.
Great. I like all these rules like RPGs because I don't have to do any planning. I can just
Yeah.
go to a wedding and enjoy myself.
That's
I
why
think
Sean liked it too. So.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because I'm clearly one of the worst at the rules. On a similar vein, because we a couple of us were lucky enough observing all of the sort of things that are still relevant to keep us safe. We went and saw Johnny on the weekend. That was amazing. Played the Star Wars RPG, which is something I'm sure we'll throw into our stream at some point
When we
when
understand
Johnny
the
figures it
rules a
out.
bit better.
Yeah. But it was great fun. There's another time to tell you about that. That was some of the characters were amazing, especially Brad's robot. But let's not spoil it because it's gonna be good. But this, I was gonna bring it out like a sort of comical bag of drugs. This, for anyone listening on the podcast, is an entire bag of chilies that Johnny was lovely enough to donate from his garden when we were there. So they're some of his and his family's chilies, essentially. Lots of different colours. a whole sort of rainbow. There's a black one there. Don't know why. Some orange ones, yellow ones. I'm genuinely getting nervous looking at them.
I
So-
actually had
Even
to
the
take
Scotch
up.
bonnets out.
Yeah, well, I had to channel Mendel for a while to learn how to gene splice and grow some varieties just to mess
Make
up
them
with
look normal, but inside there's demon spawn and
Yeah.
Just
Satan
like
himself.
my ex-girlfriend.
Oh mate,
Oh,
no,
gosh.
we're not indulging that narrative here. Absolutely. No such thing as crazy people, only ill-compatible ones.
I never said crazy. You just said demon spawn on the inside.
That's Johnny hearing crazy. Yeah.
Me shutting down any of that nonsense right there. Shutting it down. Talking of shutting down nonsense, Brad, roll the damn credits. Hello.
Recording in
and
progress.
Welcome back. Great, thanks for that. Completely threw me. Previously on Blood and Song, what feels like a million years ago, but was a scant 2 score days.
That wouldn't
I don't
be
know,
2 score.
2 weeks. No, I don't know. Like my brain went old timey. We were playing too much of that.
2
Star
score
Wars
would be
at the end.
40.
It was Dan
Yeah.
said, "Come in," and he's obviously referencing his family at the moment that we came into the stream. So
Yeah.
then he went off. He said, "Come in,"
And at the moment
it
that
was-
happened, it said recording started.
So
And
it's
it
just- yeah.
blew me. Sorry guys, the worst intro ever. Right. Previously on Blood and Song, you had found your way to the town of Wildeshore, managed to beat the legion that were hunting you into the town, and took the lift down to the shore. You, whilst travelling on the lift, you had found some new companions who were visitors to this city from across the sea, the land of Elisaria. It was the first time any of you had ever encountered an elf or a dwarf, and so that was fun. Then, wandering around through the town, you managed to meet Ravenos, the oil-laden crier for the Revel, who was enticing Ripper more than everyone to come to.
I think gently glazed might be the way that I describe him.
Oh, there's nothing gentle about it. He's, full on honey roasted. He then invited you all to the Revel, but exhausted, you found your way to the Rotten Orchard, where you decided to get some food. For continuity's sake, Sean needs to eat half a chili and then open up holding half a chili. We did say that 2 weeks ago. Oh, he's broken continuity. What are the editors that we don't have going to do now?
Oh no.
Literally
Oh, do you
tearing
know,
their
I
hairs
just-
out, having to
I
put a
don't remember
CGI
that
chili in.
happening, you
The
know?
studio and the
CGI chili,
sponsors.
yeah. It's the Cavill moustache all over again.
Yeah.
Just CGI. Somebody who has the ability to CGI me eating the rest of a chili.
Chili.
Crunch, chili. That's what I did last week, wasn't it? Last
Wasn't
time.
the noise you made? I think the noise you meant was.
Was-
We're going to go for continuity.
Yeah.
We need to get redder and redder as well.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
And he
Just
didn't even
owned by
bring any
Christine,
lassie.
I'm afraid.
I know.
Didn't even bring any lassie. So, what happens is you all go to bed, and you have a lovely night's rest. Well, mostly a lovely night's rest.
I just pressed the long rest button.
Yeah, so are we long resting or
already
we're
done
not
it.
long resting?
I've already done it because you said
Too
we
late,
could
it's
have a long
happened.
rest last
Oh,
I'm,
time.
I'm
doesn't matter.
hovering. I'm hovering.
Doesn't matter.
Right, I've had it.
Bring it back.
How it works.
What happens is During your sleep, which is deep and mostly restful, filled with dreams of places you've been, people you've met, your own personal goals and obligations, until you are drawn through a tunnel into blackness. Not just blackness, the blackness kind of coalesces into this kind of deep purple. The purple itself kind of starts almost spinning with these threads of green and pink and white running through it, and it feels like you're being drawn forward towards something. Suddenly there's this crackle of lightning running through your eyes, and in between these colours you can see this giant shadow there. I'm going to ask everyone to roll a perception check.
Okie dokie.
11 for Ripper.
17 for Octavius.
15.
Okay.
Got 11.
Anyone who gets a it was 14, over 14, you see in the purple crunching kind of coalescing shapes, the shadows move and a giant eye opens, yellow, and then moves past, and you just make out the outline of these feathers, lightning crackling off them before you're sent spiraling down, falling. You fall deeper and suddenly you hit something cold. You kind of sit up, brushing off fresh snow, and you're looking around you and you just see these mountains, tall, white-peaked, and directly in front of you is a giant lake, completely frozen over. Beneath it, another shadow moves, maybe 70 feet across, and you can hear as the shadow's almost banging against the ice. Can everyone make an insight check?
$21.
7.
DC's a little higher, it's 18 for this.
13 for me.
Anyone who beat the 18,
21.
Yes,
you
21.
get this sense that you can almost feel the shadow's desire to be free. You get this feeling that it's trapped and it's trying to push against something. Like it's tossing in its sleep and it knows it can't get out. Suddenly the ground beneath you opens and you fall again, falling deep down into the earth. You fall onto hard stone, black rock around you, until red light erupts as lava sprays over your head. You appear to be on a small outcropping, and as you look around, you are surrounded by lava, and ahead of you is a giant city, carved into the rock itself, tiny twinkling yellow and green lights. There is a river of lava that's warding it, except as you look down you can see millions of shadows moving towards this lava, and everywhere they fall the lava's cooling. Suddenly, as you see this lava cooling almost like a river, you find yourself something pulling on your shoulders and on your hair and on your back, pulling you up. And in the next moment, as can only happen in dreams, you find yourselves suspended 100 feet above the earth on the branch of a great tree, overlooking a valley. And as you look down and look around you, you can see some of the leaves turning black. The wood itself cracking. like a pus dribbling out. Faeza, can you make a perception check, please?
$21.
You hear very, very quietly a woman crying. And then with a snap in the way the dreams are, you all see a face. The face is formless. It doesn't really have features that you can identify or remember when you awake, so I'm not going to describe them now. They are just, it's a face that you feel you should know. A face that seems like you've always seen it, and yet you've never seen it. Anytime you try and pay attention to its features, they shift and change, as though they're speaking behind a piece of glass whilst hooded in the dark. And the voice just says, "Hurry." And with that, you drop into the rest of your night's sleep. And you can complete your long rest. And you awake level 7.
Woo!
Hey.
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 Hmm.
Whoop.
So you awake in the morning, fully long rested, in your beds in the rotting orchard. What would you like to do?
Let's see. Let's see. Squats today, you know, got to keep the core nice and tight.
As long as you got your priorities right.
There's
yeah,
there was a man in our Katabaya who he used to like squats a lot. Whole weeks, and he used to get the children doing it as well. Very very good man.
Oh, you mean Oze?
It might be another person. I don't know.
Yeah, like used to deal with a lot of dry wood.
That's right.
Yeah.
All the
Anyway.
mothers of the village, they all
liked him.
they liked
He was
him
very
much.
charming man.
Mm.
Very
Yeah.
charming.
No, I heard about this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Jose Vix.
He sounded a little like you, Ripper, actually. I'm not
Oh well, you
mistaken.
know, he must have had family from Banyet. You know,
Probably it.
accents quite
No, I never
quite
asked
Pacific.
you
You
what-
know.
You're all so lively this morning. Oh,
I had a very strange dream. Kept me up. Did anyone? I was both hot and cold and in a tree, and you were all there.
But to be fair, it happens when you sleep next to me.
no,
yeah, okay. I just wanted to be warm.
yes, I did have the same dream.
We keep having these dreams like together, don't we, or something? Like, don't get me wrong, I dream so much that I often forget about what I dream about. But, you know, it's happened a couple of times now, isn't it? Do you reckon it's anything to do with that thing? And Rip will point towards the shard in the box.
Well, can I remember if the lava place and the tree place were the same as the visions the first time we saw the visions back in the mansion?
Yes. They are the same.
Well,
No,
we've
I think
seen
it's,
2 of those places before.
No. It's the water here. You're not supposed to drink the water that comes from the well. You're supposed to go into the bar and ask for water. You're not allowed to. You shouldn't have well water outside of, you know, in theory. It's not good to have water from the well.
The water is perfectly acceptable, Six.
Maybe for you because you've been here for longer, but I think it upsets my tummy. I'm not.
Janelli belly.
Yeah, Chinelli Belly. Yeah. That is superb, by the way. I'm a great character.
Take
for
some
that.
inspiration.
Like,
You've got to
Chinelli belly
twice
is not a
boil
thing.
it. Twice boil the water before you have any of it.
Also, it makes my hair funny when I use it to wash. My hair does
No,
different things.
that's normal. There's chalk in the water here, and it's not great
See,
for hair.
so you shouldn't drink. So it ain't fine, is it? If there's chalk in it.
The chalk keeps it from disease, I think. I don't really know too much about it, how they treat the water.
All right, listen. I say, well, what's this dream? What are we worried about having a dream together or something? I don't mind it. Shared experiences is what life's all about.
Did anyone recognize the face?
Nah.
No.
Wait, hold on. Nah.
I've heard tell of sometimes soldiers who are together. They sometimes dream of the next day's battle together. But I don't know if those of religious stock could tell us a little bit about.
I'm worried about this Revel then. If we're going to be fighting in a ice world and a lava world and a tree world.
What do you mean? What do you mean fighting? Do you really think old Grease Mungo came along? Think he's going to be doing any fight? Well, maybe actually. Now you think about it, maybe some kind of wrestling.
Oh no! Now you think about it. It's been a long time since we've had a gladiatorial arena.
Nah, actually, I think about it. He might be doing some kind of wrestling.
If anything, he's an incredibly dodgy character. I'm going to be keeping my eye out.
What, on him?
Not on him specifically,
okay.
no. That's for you, right?
Well, here's the thing. I think obviously I'm keen to head down to the Revel. I want to have a bit of fun, you know. I've been hanging out with you lot, and the first time we've ever had any fun, we've had fun twice. Once when we first met each other, and then the old burning bush thing happened, right? And then the second thing was like when we all had a bath together. Other than that, right? I had any fun with yous, you know. I don't really know what you're good at and what you're not good at, how you actually enjoy to have fun. I'm going to go down to the Revel and have a laugh, right? See a couple greased up bodies, find out what carnival games they've got there. You know, you've got to just have a bit of fun.
I'd like to go because I you know,
Bang.
Whenever there's a fair or a carnival, there's usually stories.
Also, think about this, Faeza. You can figure out how all of those games work, right? And the best way to win all of them.
I don't know if that's very in the spirit of the games.
Yeah, but I mean, it depends how many stuffed animals you want to win.
Well, you know, I did try and work some games out once when there was a fair in a city. We didn't get many fairs in Zawati, but in the merchant city there was sometimes be one there, and they didn't like it when I told them how someone could solve their game every time.
Or, on the flip side of that, how they've made the game almost unwinnable.
Well,
Think
I mean,
about
there
that.
were some that are dishonest. Yes, there were ones that you know they balanced it very wrong. It's not very nice. But
So
I mean, we can keep an eye out for those when I.
Maybe you should just not tell them. You know, don't upset them. If it upsets them, telling them how unfair the game is, or that you've worked it out. But work it out anyway for your head.
Do you think it's because
I better follow
they
you
get
all.
upset because they're maybe not very good at
I think that's all it is. They didn't realize, you
Oh.
know.
Oh gosh, maybe that's why they were so angry. I mean, they used some words I'd never heard before. It was not very nice. But it was okay, and I went away. It was fine. But yes, no, I'd love to go. And maybe if there's a little place, you know, I can get my little toys out and show some children some tricks.
I think the old man said that there was no legion on the Revel, so it'd be a good place to go
Perfect.
to hide out for a bit anyway.
you can take your cloak off finally. Start to smell a bit as well.
No,
Speaking of
Faezer's been kindly cleaning everybody with that magic.
It's probably true, actually, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, when nobody notices.
Nighttime
She's been trying not to do it.
prestidigitation.
She's just gone. Oh no, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think Ripper's woken up feeling extra charming this morning. You know, like feels like he's the most charming person he's ever met in his entire life. I think, and the people around him should also feel like that as well. I think they should feel like there's no one else who's more charming than him. So that's why he's getting you all ready to, you know, want to get to the Revel. Octavius, how long? If you covered me in lights, right? How long does that last?
All of 0 minutes.
What do you mean? You know, you've like cast it on me, and I've done a couple of dances. You know, fairy fires.
Yeah, that was a side effect of actually using it in a useful way.
Yeah. How long does it last though?
0 minutes for you.
What's that supposed to mean?
I could douse you in oil and light you. If that help?
I mean, if you
let's
wanted to, I can make little lights, and you can have them in your hands and do something if you like.
It's quite
I
cool.
saw
Maybe
this
it
man
was,
with
Maybe
like
you
a
could, like,
ball that he used to just
throw
we'll save
some
that for later.
some
Obviously,
shapes.
we're coming in at the breakfast shift, so we won't be. We'll save that one for the late night fun.
Okay.
Right. I think everyone. Six, you're coming, right? You're not going to be sitting here just journaling, are you?
Maybe there's a place in there to get some new paper, parchment, or whatever I need, a new notebook or something.
Something like that. Yeah,
That could
sure.
come
We'll
along.
find
If
out.
I don't like
Let's
it, I can just leave anytime.
Let's find out.
I'm sure there's not going to be any restrictions that force us to stay there under some kind of penalty of some kind. I'll have my book, and if I don't enjoy it, I'll just go and I can read in the corner. I think it'll be okay.
We need to keep the rest of the group out of some trouble at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah. You're right, Octavius.
No
yeah,
legion, no problems, right? That's what they say.
What could possibly go wrong? So, are you heading down? So, as you're on your way out, the owner of the Rotten Orchard, who you'd been set by last night, says, "So, is that it then? You staying another night, or are we done?"
Probably come back here tonight, wouldn't we? Maybe.
Guess it depends on how well the revel goes.
Yeah.
2 silver if you want to keep the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
I'll
Someone
pay-
will get
I'll
off their
pay-
sheet.
I'll
Thank
pay it
you.
out.
And as you head out to the early morning, you can see that the dockside is already fairly busy. You are just off Feliana's arms. Well done, me closing down the one thing that I needed. There we go. So you are currently in the Founder's Quarter. As you head north back towards the huddle, can everyone just make... Well, no, you don't need to. You'll see it easy enough. Within no time, you begin to see a lot of the strangers that you'd seen kind of just milling around the town out yesterday. Lots of these dwarves, lots of these... they call themselves grey elves. You see some of the very, very pasty-looking humans. And you also see and hear some more criers for the revel as they are walking around. They've all got those kind of wrists thick with loads of bangles, and they're all dressed fairly extravagantly, although very differently. Some of them have just got very colourful feathers, some of them have got kind of long masks on, some have got long cloaks, and are you going to interact with them, or are you just going to go straight towards kind of by the side of the docks? You see some of them are waiting by essentially thin gondolas.
I'd like to go up to one, if that's possible,
Okay.
and just say, hello. We were thinking we might go to the revel, but I don't know how big it is, or if there's anything you can recommend that we look out for. If it's
So you've
I don't-
walked
I
up
don't
to
know what the
she's a fawn, and she's got this kind of lovely golden hued fur and these spiraling goat horns that go out to the side that have gold chains linking up to her nose. And she looks down and goes, "Why, hello! Well, Revel's not really about size. It's about excess. And we have all of it. Go, join the Revel and loose yourselves. Do you have tokens?" And she holds out some tokens towards you in open palm.
I think we already had some. Do we need more than one, or is that enough?
Oh no, one is absolutely fine. Please, jump on any of the boats. They will take you there. They will bring you back. You may come and go as you please.
Okay. Do we need another token to get back?
No, not at all.
Okay. Lovely. Thank you very much for your help.
Just like genuine water taxis, which I found interesting.
Can I... may I have a look at the token? 1 minute. One of you, whoever has it. Can I try
Okay.
and ascertain whether it is magical in nature at all?
Make an Arcana check.
2.
You are 100% certain this is a wooden token.
Yeah, just making sure. Thank you, Ripper. Nothing.
That's all right. No worry
Nothing,
about it.
nothing out of the ordinary.
Where was old Rasmus? Whatever his name was, Ravenous.
Who are you saying that to, Ripper?
I'm just sort of saying it out loud while trying to look around. There's
Make
old
a perception check.
little Ravenous gone. Oh, what song did the Rasmus do that was really good?
In the shadows.
In the shadows. Yeah, is he hiding in the shadows?
That was worryingly too quick, Johnny.
I teach it at school.
Okay, that's fair enough.
12. Ripper?
You look around the shadows. It's not in the shadows.
I've done it. It's not the shadows.
Oh, you derailed me already. 6 minutes. It's that beginning. Like it's all gone off the rails from the start. As you look around the crowd, you can't see Ravenos anywhere.
Well, I'll be watching and I'll be waiting for him.
In the shadows?
No. That's
Right,
creepy.
okay, yeah. So as you move towards the boats, then you see that these thin gondolas all have someone on the end dressed again in just tunic and kind of cut quite open. It's a bit of a breezy day today if we were to use the centigrade system, which they definitely don't, but for the sake of not confusing people with yet another system no one needs, it's it's about 14-15 degrees, so it's pretty chill but also not horrendous. Kind of when you get that beautiful November day and it's just strangely warm for the time of year. And are you all just gonna jump on?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sure we'll be fine with it all.
Cool. So as you jump onto the gondola, there is a tiny goblin who is sat actually holding the stick. Words just gone. It will come back to me in a moment.
Paddle?
The pole.
Punter?
It's just called a punt. Or a
Well, because
pole.
they punt, don't they? So I was wondering if it had a specific, is
Maybe
it the
it's
punter?
just called
It's
No,
punter.
Anybody
He's
from
holding-
around Oxford and Cambridge. Anybody got any ideas?
He's holding the big
From right by
horn.
Oxford. Lived in Oxford, works in Oxford. Can't remember. I'm going to invent a Shannon word for it. The stick.
It's called
Ooh, very supple.
a quant? Or quant? Quant.
Ryan, I believe I just said I invented the Shannon word for it. It's called
Yeah,
the
we've got
stick.
this, Ryan. Okay,
Don't
Yeah,
worry.
it's done.
I'm a world builder, man. Pro. Hashtag true stat. So whilst you are kind of loading on, the goblin looks at you and goes, "Right, good morning to you all. Lovely to have you on board. If we're gonna just sit down, try not to rock the boat."
I've heard that one
Okay,
before.
come, mate. Right, good on you. Right, have a little seat. We will get there momentarily. Well, about half an hour. Momentarily. Everyone comfy.
Yes.
As I
Right.
can be.
Don't put your hands in the water. Off we go then. And he just pushes off.
I mean, listen, like now he said don't put my hand in the water, like I really want to put my hands in the water, you know?
I really would follow-
Faeza sat there with her hands really close, tight, going like this, but she's pulled her goggles down. What's going on with the water?
Perception check, please, Faeza.
Ripper, I really would follow the young
I mean,
goblin's
yeah, sure.
instructions.
You would follow the instructions, right? I know
Got a
you
19.
would.
No, you should follow.
Why?
You-
Why? What do you know? Is this the chalk that you were talking about that's going to come up and the chalk's going to get me through
No,
the
I
water?
have no idea, but this is a man who works exclusively on the boat for probably a while now. If he
So-
says don't put your hand in the water, you don't put your hand in the water.
Faeza, as you see these two arguing, and Ripper is kind of doing what exactly I imagine Ripper doing. His hand is kind of going out like a naughty child. You just see shadows moving under the water, and then you look sort of 20-30 feet away from you, and a single sharp fin broaches the water and then dives under and moves towards the boat.
In which case,
Not being funny, but if
If
there's
he told you
sharks-
to jump off the edge of a cliff, would you jump off the edge of a cliff? That's what my mother used to say, isn't it?
I mean, literally, can't you do that?
Didn't she say, do you want to jump off the edge of a cliff, then go and do it? I
That's
thought
exactly what she used to say. And then when we went to go and do it, she said, If I tell you to jump off the edge of a cliff, would you do it?
Yeah. And then if your brother was going
we
to jump
did,
off a
that's the
cliff,
thing.
would he do it? And then
I'd push him. That's what I said. And then I got to smack up the side of the head.
By me.
Faeza's just going to just shout out and go, no, I think it's actually a very good idea. No, don't do that. No, stay in.
How big's the fin?
You haven't yet seen it, Ripper.
That's true.
She's going to point it out.
It's big.
So, okay.
Not, I mean, it's not like Megalodon.
I turn to the tiny goblin.
Yeah.
And I say, listen, mate, you better tell me these boats are secretly protected, because if there's a bunch of sharks, literally in a half-an-hour trip to get to this water, and at any point we can get attacked by them, I think I want a new fucking gondola rider.
He just goes, it's exciting, right? The Revel, living on the edge. Honestly, we probably won't be attacked. It barely ever happens.
I'm gonna ready my weapon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does the shark fin come out of the water just as he says that?
Yeah, like just behind his head, it broaches, smashes down.
Have we ever seen a shark in Indiri?
Yeah. Wait, I'd say in the journey you would have taken when you came north.
Came across, we would have seen.
Yeah,
but
you
are
would have
they?
seen
I
them.
don't know whether are they indigenous to Indiri.
Well, Octavius
We might
has
have
never been to the coast, so
A different
what is that?
species of shark,
Okay.
certainly.
I'll
but
put your
enough
hand
to
in
at
the
least
water and find
recognise
out.
The,
Sure. Okay.
Six is drawing a fin. He's drawn like loads of different fins around his book, and then underneath he's drawn what it might look like, and it's all just different. You know, one of them's like Ripper being
Octopus.
naughty, and like one of them's an octopus, and like he'll never show anybody these pictures, and they're almost anatomical. You know, like a sort of like a Da Vinci thing or something. It's like it's very sort of stoic and sort of perfect.
Octavius, can't you turn into one of these things?
Well, I can now.
That is cool.
a shark just broaches, sees Octavius, goes.
Jesus
Cre-
Christ!
Creature unlocked.
Like,
It
the
appears in
dog,
your
like the
bestiary.
dogma Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Buddy,
Yeah.
Buddy Christ.
Buddy Christ.
Right, that was it. Damn it. Not quick enough.
Oh, it's all good. That does not happen. But yes,
Okay.
Octavius, you get the little creature unlocked in your bestiary.
Nice. Which I can't do until 8th anyway.
Fine. So as you kind of complain, he goes, honestly, I wouldn't worry about it. Like, these little beauties are indigenous. As long as you don't put your hand in the water, they're not likely to have a bite of you. That's why I said, don't put your hands in the water. See, I'm looking out for you. Now, before we get to the Revel, we have got a couple of little rules that we got to abide by, right? Now, I don't want to stress you out too much, so I'm going to go over them really quickly. Good. Right, here we go. First one, don't use any divination, enchantment, or other types of magic. Secondly, don't hurt anyone. We good? Right, let's go.
Cool.
But, no magic at all? Like, no tinkering? Or...
Well...
What about and I point to the birds that like apparates onto my shoulder.
Bloody hell, mate, that's impressive, not gonna lie. Not seen one of those before. Now you'll have to excuse me as I look through 20 notebooks for the exact wording I wrote down, because there it is. Got the exact things. I correct myself, went a little too quickly. I'll slow it down for you all there. Right, no divination, no illusion, and no enchantments. None of that
Awesome.
shit, and you're all golden, mates.
Oh, that's okay.
Anything else? It's the Revel, innit? Do what you like. Secondly, but more importantly, absolutely no violence. Okay?
We are not a group known for violence. We
Well,
are
that's-
peaceful, loving.
What
That
about
is a very odd thing to say, mate.
what about
Yes, and also
You,
we
you
are a band,
literally
aren't we?
mentioned violence there, so
But we're not a
you
group
mentioned
known
violence.
for violence. Do you know what I mean? It's all good. I don't really care. Just saying, don't
What
go
about
start.
violent lyrics in our songs? Because we are like a band, so sometimes we have very powerful and potent lyrics, you know, that some might consider emotionally violent.
Right, well, gonna stop you there. Lyrics, not really very violent. That, and he points out, and you see the shark just kind of jump, take a passenger off another gondola.
Like that
I'm
again.
not-
They
okay,
crash
I'm-
into the water.
Fucking, I'm not okay
What?
with this.
He No, hold on a minute. What?
No,
Does he
let's
actually take a passenger off another gondola, or he just?
He had his arm in the
being
water, I assume.
So are we allowed to be violent to the sharks?
Oh, mate, like, that starts, and you, like, fill your fucking boots. I'll be hitting it on the bonds anytime now. But it's not going to do it. Hardly ever does it. Look at that. That's its one per day, probably.
What about
Interesting
self-defense?
A shark will only attack you if you're wet.
That is
So-
very true. That guy must have spilled his drink. The other thing, right, is to make your stay at the Revel a little bit easier, you'll be needing these. And he kind of whips back his cloak. And you see that it is covered again in these bangles. And he takes 5 of them off and offers one to each of you.
That's going to be investigated very closely.
Are we're not on the
Make an
Revel yet,
investigation
are
check.
we?
No, you're still in the water.
Okay, detect
What do
magic.
these bangles do?
Got a 9.
So you detect magic, and you detect that they have. I've been playing too much Skyrim. I nearly said alteration magic. They have a form of divination magic on them.
They could probably tell where we are at all times with these bangles, so be careful, gang.
That is bloody astute, mate. That is literally what they're for. I can see you all eyeballing them. I'm going to tell you what they do, so you don't need to pull the underhand shit. What they do is, they are for your safety. They help you know where each other are. Because look at them. Green. Right. You're in trouble. Smash your bangle. It'll turn red. Then all of you all, you'll feel it. Because what I'm going to do, I got this. And he pulls out what looks to be an ordinary rock in a slightly humorous shape. And says, I'm going to pat them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to be linked together. So it's kind of like people like wandering around doing their own thing. It's just a nice way of having a sense of like knowing where you are near each other, making sure everyone's alright. If it turns red and suddenly goes black, someone's fallen in the water and been eaten by a shark. You know what I mean? It's all good.
So, hypothetically, if someone attempts to steal one of our possessions, are we
I
allowed
have
to
no
use...
idea what that means, mate.
It
If
means
someone tries to rob
hypothetically.
us...
The word hypothetically doesn't know what it means.
That's the one, yeah, hypermolecularly.
Let's
Sounds
say
about
in
right.
Storyland, someone tries to rob us,
Right with you. Yeah, Storyland. God, that sounds great. Go on.
then are we allowed to use violence to defend our property?
Oh, God, no, absolutely not. No violence allowed. Look, we got our own little system over there. If some wrong is done to you, you just take it to the madam, and she will sort you out. Do you know what I mean? Like, she just takes care of everything. Likewise, you go causing mischief, you'll just get taken to the madam. She'll sort it out. Say no
Madam,
more.
you say?
Yeah.
Does she... Is she biased at all?
I don't know what that means either, mate.
Does she prefer one group of people to another?
Oh, no, she loves everyone, mate. Yeah.
Right, fair enough.
Like, she got literally no boundaries.
You know,
Oh,
brother, remember there
this
was
woman
this.
sounds amazing.
Before Ripper asks about the madam, or of whom I'm very interested in. You remember, brother, there was this world that we heard talk of to the west. There was this world to the west, a west world, and then it seems a bit like that, doesn't it? You know, and they all went there, and then
And didn't they grow donkeys' ears in Mother's story? Because they were all misbehaving. And they did a lot of misbehaving, and then they grew donkey's ears. And
yeah.
one of them told lies a lot and got a really long nose.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
story sounds a little bit far-fetched, mate. It's like, you know, belly of the whale, we'd say over here.
It's no different to gods in the air creating water and lightning and suns, huh?
I mean, that is true. The universe is a weird place. Know what I mean?
No, we saw a massive invisible turtle. It was very strange.
I mean, that's very cool. I got a lot of questions about how it saw something, if it was invisible. But do you know what I mean? I'm a goblin on a pontoon surrounded by sharks. Who am I to judge?
yeah, that's
You're the stick, my friend. You're the stick.
This is the stick.
So you're
But
the
that-
sticker?
Oh.
May I ask if the bangles have any other purpose, so we can find each other? How do we find each other? Is it like a little? Is there a beacon? Like if someone's in trouble,
Oh yeah, as you get closer together, you'll feel it. It's like a pull. Like well, I don't really understand the Skiensis kind of stuff, but they tell me there's a word, right? It's like mognyoknyok or something. It's like this mognyok response, like 2 bits of metal. They just like, you know what I mean? You kind of has a similar thing. Like not literally, you're not stuck together.
Oh, like
but,
lodestones.
Loads of them. Yeah,
No,
except they're not
I
stones.
think he's talking about the
Angles.
bang bang sticky sticky. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's talking about bang bang sticky sticky. I think.
No, that's something else, mate. But that's later on.
Mother
in the
told
day.
us not to talk about that in public. Eh?
I think he might mean a magnet, but
That's what I said, Magni.
that's exactly what I heard. Well done. It's
A
very-
magnet?
No, she's saying, what else do these do so we can find each other? Can other people find us?
Well, yeah, like obviously that's the point. Like if you're in trouble and you twist it and it goes red, that means like Madam will send her people out to make sure you're all right. That's the whole idea. She looks after everyone as long as you stick by the rules. Madam's got your back.
Okay.
Can I check if he... Well, he probably does fully believe what he's saying, but can I check?
You can insight check that.
How long have you been working for the Revel?
God, I mean, what's it been? 8 fingers.
Days or hours?
No, like
Years?
like no.
Locations?
Weeks?
I got 11 on
Ah.
insight, so if I can't tell whether he believes he's saying, I probably can tell that what he means.
He is absolutely believing everything he
Yeah.
believes. He goes, 8, generations. That's the one. That's the one. No, it's not.
I thought this
Months.
was- Okay.
There we go. That's the one. Yeah. Sorry. Like, still getting used to Chinellan standards. You know what I mean? Like, my common's
Aren't
not.
we all, mate? Aren't we
Yeah,
all,
we are.
friend? Is there a way I can, sometimes I get a reaction on my skin. Is there a way I can just keep it in my pocket?
Nah, you gotta wear it against your skin, mate. Sorry, don't worry though. Magically insnorting the mild to make sure it doesn't actually cause any reactions.
Okay. Six
Okay.
doesn't want to wear it really, but if there's no other way.
That's
he'll
alright.
wear
Don't have to wear it, mate. Like
it.
it's
No,
fine.
he wouldn't say it out loud though.
But you can see you looking awkward. It's like, if you don't want to wear it, you can just head back to the shore. That's all good. No
What
one's
if-
forcing anyone to do anything on the Revel.
What if my arm were to suddenly get smaller? Would it fall off?
Yeah, what would happen if it fell off by accident? Yeah, good question.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, like, it would go red because we probably thought that your arm had been bitten off by a shark. The guards would turn up. You know, we're not guards.
Oh, I
really.
see.
They're more like people.
Thank you.
Do you know what I mean? We're here to look after you. Like, don't worry. I'm sure your arm's not going to shrink.
Yes.
Stay away from the potion tent, though. Like, because your arm might fall off. But, on the other hand, it might not. And that is actually kind of brilliant if you think about it. Ah, what a day. I love my job.
For the madam, how long has she been running this outfit?
Oh, like, you've not heard of her. Great madam. She founded the whole darn thing. So it's got to be, what now, like 20 years? Something like that, I think.
I thought that this was quite recent that it has come to this town.
Yeah.
So has it been somewhere else?
No?
But you said it was 20 years, but it's quite
Yes.
new.
That's pretty recent, to be honest. Like, when you come to Wildeshore, like, this place, it's really old. Like, well old. If I had to put a number on it, I couldn't, because I can't count that high.
Okay, so has it always been at Wildeshore? Was it created at Wildeshore?
Well, if I'm honest, I don't really know that much about the madam's history. She's sort of like, scary. I don't really ask. Do you know what I mean? She just gave me the job, and I'm like, hey, have a great time. She's like, yes,
Yeah.
she's got to ferry people, and I'm like, bonza, all right.
No one's scared. No one's scary, mate. You just gotta find out, what they enjoy doing. Where would we find the madam if we wanted to speak to her?
All right.
Because, if I'm being honest, right, I love the Revel, but what I've learnt about this town is that, along the main area, in fact, what I've learnt about a lot of towns that I've been in is the main area is always for the people travelling in and out, right? And if you want
Sure is.
if you want the real party, yeah, you need to go with the workers.
Well, here's the thing, mate, right? Like, the Revel is the real party. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
So, look, we're getting a little bit closer now. We're only about 5-10 minutes out. Look, I can point it out because we can see it. and you find yourselves in the middle of the harbour. And you see now the pontoons that you just glimpsed from the lift. They are tied together, these huge things. They're almost like floating barges, and they're festooned with tents and banners and kind of magical lights. And towering over all of them in the middle is a giant silk red tent. You can't really tell because obviously you're lower down and you're looking up at things. There's no sense of where it is. But he says, when you get on the Revel, mate, it's kind of like, how can I describe it? Like that shape. Oh God, what's it?
Rands.
Like that one, but like not a proper round because it goes in.
Oh, oblong.
No. Ah. Like the shape of a snail.
Oh,
Oh, like a spiral.
That's the ticket. Right, it's like a spiral. You get in there and you'll find that you just kind of like, oh, I'm having fun, whack! You'll end up at Madam's tent.
I thought there was no violence though.
Ha! Not that kind of whack. More like the whack. Do you know, like when you're having a great time, you're like, yeah, wham! You're gone. It's like that. You're just having a great time, don't know what's going on, doing a little thing, doing a little thing.
On a skirmish, I've heard an arrow make a wham sound. I have. So, not the
I've never had a
sound
skirmish.
make,
They sound great. I'll have to try one sometime.
but not here, because they'll take you to the madam.
Also, is it
really?
a logarithmic spiral like the snail?
I have literally no idea what that means.
Okay, I mean that's quite important, I guess.
It's more like one of those, you know, like a story that's kind of true but sort of not true.
The more I hear about
Metamorphic.
this level, the more
Spiral.
I think
Yeah,
it's
metamorphic
worrying.
spiral. Yeah.
This whole time, Faeza's just fascinated with his absolute misuse of
Octavius
language.
is just like
what is going on?
his eyebrow furrow is just getting deeper and deeper and deeper. It's just more and more concerned.
Because Faeza's just like
A
inching
vein
closer
on
and
it.
closer and closer. See what's
Right,
going on.
so everyone got their little bangles on there.
Yes.
Good stuff.
I
Let's see them all
suppose.
before we step up, please. Let's see them all. Lovely, 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 lovely. Right, just got to show your tokens if you want to get back, and one of us will take you back. No worries. Now, do be careful. We don't have any other health and safety precautions because this is, you know, essentially a party, and it's no party if someone's putting guide rails in. So I would warn you not to take too much red sands and get in by shock. But other than that, whatever you do is your own.
I resemble
red
that
sands?
remark.
Oh, don't. Just.
Ah,
Let them find out. Let them find out. Trust me.
really? Like, we can. It's fine.
Did you
Red
say that
sand.
we should
It's-
not
it's
lose
a-
our tokens? That we've got to keep
Oh yeah, just like
get
keep them in your
back?
pocket. Well, don't worry, because as long as you people are good citizens, like you don't break the 2 rules, they'll just let you off anyway. You get another token tomorrow in the marketplace. We mass produce these things. They're cheap.
It's fine. Right. Let's
Okay.
have some fun then.
Have a lovely time at the Revel. Bye! And at this moment, you kind of come up to the docks, and these rope ladders fall down. Who is first up?
Well, it's obviously going to be Ripper, isn't it?
It is blatantly Ripper.
Yeah.
Faeza's really worried about losing her token, so she's put it in an inside pocket number 19, and it's just inside her shirt. And she's like this now, just like looking around. You know when you see a sign that says pickpockets are around, and she's like, you know, people touch their wallet, and that's
Yeah.
how pickpockets.
Yeah.
Ripper, slow down a bit. Wait for the rest of us.
What? Can't you down there?
So
Also,
as
you don't want to be careful you don't lose your token like this. It rolls the coin across his hand and it disappears. It's like
Nice.
it's fine because you can just look behind your ear and he pulls behind his ear and that coin's
make a sleight of hand check.
there. If I drop it in the water, it'd be fucking hilarious.
Faeza, make a perception check.
Can I see how
I
it works?
rolled a natural 20.
Oh,
so that's a total
nice.
of 25.
Nice.
So.
Oh no, I got a perception. I got 16.
He magic!
Oh my god, that's so good!
Oh, it's great, isn't it?
That's
My
so
mother
clever.
taught me that. I'll show you another time, man.
Go on,
Okay.
Octavius, you can ruin this.
I'm sorry.
Six is using his coin as like a bookmark for the book that he's reading. You know, when you hold it in one hand and he's got his eye in his book and he's got his thumb on his thing but he's like not even looking where he's going. He's just sort of following
Okay.
the rest of them.
So as you climb up onto pontoons, you find yourselves kind of balancing, and you notice that these pontoons are about 10 feet high. So the ladders themselves, I'm not going to make you check it because you're kind of assisted up and climbing, should you need it. And they are about 10 foot high. There's a drop straight down into the water as you kind of look over, and you can see sharks very clearly in the water here, kind of swooping in and dropping up anything that's dropped over the sides. In front of you lies a veritable smorgasbord of things to do. There are stalls with kind of party goers. It's already crowded. By now, it's probably the equivalent of about 11 a.m. And it's, let's say, absolutely rammed already. People kind of playing games. You can see dice games, you can see card games, you can see kind of more fairgrounds kind of activities. What do you want to do?
Ripper's going to be like, I have arrived. I'm here to have a load of fun. And here is my beautiful crew to have fun with me.
Make a charisma check for me.
Of course I can. Just straight charisma.
Straight charisma.
Octavius is hiding behind his hands. Just why Ripper?
It rolled it twice for some reason. And I got a natural 20.
With a natural 20, you see, like within 30 feet, everyone who turns around sees you just goes, hey!
Hey!
Who is he? Don't know, but he's
Come
here!
on.
Hey! And there is this sense of jubilation, and you can just see people like walking through the crowds, just handing out drinks and other things.
Octavius, last chance, give me a verify.
I can't do it, Ripper. I swapped it out for something else.
Alright, fine, fair enough. Look, I want you all to do me a favour right now, right? It's been hard, not gonna lie to you. We've been clearing plagues, right? We've been, talking about shared dreams, destroying libraries. It's not been fun. So I want you all to make me one big promise right now. That includes you, Octavius. Right? Just have a laugh. Just have a laugh. That's all I want. I want you to live one day
Ha 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 ha.
like
Promise
you.
fulfilled.
I want you to live one day like you were Ripper, right?
Promise fulfilled.
WWRD. Yeah? I want you to think about that. What would Ripper do? Yeah? What would Ripper do?
That's been my guiding actions for the past 2 months.
Good.
I
And
always,
There you go. Look, he's
always
taking
do the
jokes
opposite.
already.
Right. What will Ripper do? And I want you to opposize that feeling. Yeah. I want you to opposize that feeling, Octavius. Yeah. Embrace your inner Ripper. Right. All of you, embrace your inner Ripper. Yeah. Deal? Do we have a deal?
I'll follow you and make sure you don't get into too much trouble.
The point is, that's not what Ripper would do, all right? And I'm just going to turn Octavius to, like, a direction. I'm just like, go that way and find something to do. And slap him on the butt and send him on his way.
Can you stop doing that? I'll meet you in the center, I suppose.
Okay,
6.
everyone make a perception check for me. Let's see what we can do. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, I think like six looks around and he's genuinely impressed. I think like his setup is quite exciting. So here's Ripper's speech, but I think he's almost making notes. Like someone who's not really connected, and then he's making notes about what Ripper's saying, and then when he reads it back, he's like, "Oh yeah, okay, fair enough," and he sort of closes his book and looks around and sort of thinks, "Well, they've just got here. They're on this, this rock wherever they are. They're on this pontoon. Might as well have a look around for something to do, they can maybe challenge himself or go up against someone." And he gets a 15 on his perception
Okay.
as he looks around.
Faeza got a 21.
Lovely.
7. I was too busy giving a great speech.
14.
Okay, well, with
20,
these,
22.
between yourselves, these are the things you spot. You see a stall that has quite a large crowd of slightly younger people there, and some old people, and you see lots of kind of money exchanging hands at the side. And there seems to be a small kind of centaur kneeling down, who is moving around 3 cups.
Oh,
off on the next pontoon, those of you who got over a 17 would have seen a large kind of stage with people at the top, and you just see someone going and vomiting over the side and passing their deck save and not falling in the water. And then you see some cheering as other people are eating something. Further away, you can see people kind of arm wrestling and doing other things.
What are they eating, Johnny? What are they? Oh, okay.
You're
You
a bit
haven't got
too
over,
far to
brother.
find a way.
All
It would be
right.
amazing if... What did you roll again?
15. I can't see it that distance.
Ah, but
I
do you
can
know
though.
what?
I can. It's fine.
I feel like Lack would encourage you. And because
Most
Lack,
definitely.
with that roll, you smell something in the air, mate. Oh, it smells like home.
Coming in the air tonight.
No, come in the air tonight.
Yes. Yes. Very good.
Oh, that was good, wasn't it?
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Take
good.
inspiration.
Oh, don't give him that.
Thanks! Give myself
Yeah,
inspiration.
don't give the DM inspiration. Yeah.
So yeah, you can smell the smell of chilies in the air, fried chilies and fresh chilies. You also see various food stalls and other things as well. There is, you can see some people playing cards. There's all kind of things what people are interested in, and you're gonna split up at this point.
So
Well, I'm going to guide
Octavius
my
is
brother over to the chilies for sure.
Octavius
I'll
is
go
going
with
to
him.
look like
Octavius.
he's going to walk off and then stealth and follow Ripper.
Make a stealth check. Ripper, make a perception check.
And I'm doing the
That is-
whole like blending into crowds sort of
the
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed classic blend. Yeah.
Would you
I
get
should have fucking saved it. I got a natural 20, mate.
plus?
20. So it's 25 in total.
What's your stealth?
I'm going to cast
That is
Pass
serious.
without
Fucking
trace.
serious.
What's your total?
With pass without trace.
Wait, but
32.
does he have to re-roll it if it's?
No.
I think it's kind of sweet in a way. It's like he wants to get involved, but doesn't want anyone to know he's getting involved. So
Yeah,
it's like,
um,
Do it.
I'm gonna say this.
What a waste of a natural 20, though.
Ripper,
Sorry, right.
you know Octavius is probably following, but you can't see him. And you've got shit you want to get on with anyway. This is
Yeah, that's
your
fine.
day. You're
That's
not letting
fine.
him spoiling it.
I assume Lack is. So Lack said you're dragging us over.
I'm dragging. I'm definitely going to drag Sixsmith over to the chilies.
I can.
And-
If you want me to win you something, I can win you.
All right, let's go
I
check.
can
Go on then.
do
Let's,
I'm a
let's,
little
let's see how you.
I'm
have
a little
it.
bit
Fine.
nervous about Faeza being on her own, so I kind of encourage her to come with us without making her come with us.
Okay, Faeza's equally nervous, so she's like, okay, because everyone's.
In a typical younger brother, you should come see this. He's probably going to eat a chili, and it's going to be hilarious.
What did you?
What's-
What did you say?
Nothing. I think I said my brother is going to do very well in this game.
Yeah, I can
When
win
we
you
were
like a
younger,
good toy or whatever. Like
He's
when
very
we were,
good. He
when
could
we were
really handle
kids.
his chilies.
I think up to this
Mm.
point, I think that Faeza's only really seen the chili powder, so she's like, eat a chili? Like a.
Oh,
what?
you have got something to look forward to, my friend. Come watch.
Okay.
Somewhere in the
Okay.
distance, Octavius is genuinely intrigued, just like poking his head through the entrance of the tent.
Is that like a red? And we see like a little flash of red. Huh?
The tent starts catching on fire slowly as his hair. No, it doesn't. It's fine. So as you move across, you find, inside this large open pavilion, there is a stage, and you in fact see, or those of you from Indiri see some not familiar faces as in people you know, but some familiar sights. You see a incredibly mustachioed, which is impressive if you think about it, Loxodon there. This giant twirling moustache and these amazingly gnarled horns, or tusks, I should say, standing there in a really flamboyant kurta, the most pointed, twirling sandals you have ever seen. And he's saying, roll up, who next to face the fire challenge of my homeland? Who can eat
Hey,
the most
where's Octavius?
dangerous food in the world?
My
was
brother
just-
will. My brother here. He loves.
Yes,
he'd be very
yes.
much up for it. He's
My-
so
his-
good with this place.
My brother. Wait, what?
You, yeah, that's exactly him. Him, great. And then as Sixsmith goes to try and look back to me to point at me, I've zipped around the other side. So
Yeah.
he points at Ripper.
Marvellous! Fellow countrymen, I recognise you. How wonderful to see fellow Endearans here. Please, join me on the stage. Join me!
Right.
Yay! Yay!
Round of applause, please, for all these fine gentlemen.
And
And look, 2 more volunteers. As some scrubs from the crowd also come up.
Let me take your book for you, brother. So he whips his book out of his hand and pushes him on stage.
And you are put
He's
on
stunned, you know, and he's just going with it. He doesn't really know what's going
The
on.
lights and everything, it's too much.
And there is kind of a small crowd there. They're all cheering, and you see on the kind of tables in front of you, they are low tables, really dark wood like you'd have at home, finely etched and engraved. And you can see that the 2 Chinellans that have been pulled up, kind of awkwardly moving their togas and tunics as they're trying to sit on the floor, or that's much lower than they're used to. He says, "Fine, this is a challenge. If you can eat the hottest food from our homelands, you win the pots." What is the pots? It's not this pot. And he points at a giant simmering cauldron. He goes, "Because that's my wife, and she'll kill me." "No, you will win this pot." And he holds up a pot, and he says, and you can just clearly see gold shimmering in it. He goes, "The one who can stay in, who can eat all 4 rounds, gets it all."
My brother can do this.
Marvelous.
You know, you look spiffing. You're a very lovely looking Indirian. I love the colours. Absolutely wonderful on you.
Thank you.
I don't think I'm supposed to be up here. I don't have a
I
problem
think you're
with-
going to do
up
wonderful,
here,
representing our honour.
yay.
A military man, no less. Wonderful, lovely to see one of the God King's men here himself. Marvellous, look at this. I'm sure he's going to show the Chinellans how it's done. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Chinellans can't eat anything. Everything's bland.
Well, that's a little much, but basically true, my friends. And he hears some boo, like good-natured boos from the audience.
Yeah.
Prove us wrong. Now then, the first course. And you see laid out in front of you, clearly his wife comes out, and she's got, again, the most amazing sari on that's just green and silver and orange, and places down Rove. What you don't even have to insight check these because you are Endearan. You know them to be some quite mild chilies.
Okay.
How are we
Okay.
doing this, Johnny?
You eat. So here's the rules. Okay. If you just decide to roll the dice and you wimp out, which I know Sean will, you roll at disadvantage. If you eat a chili, every time you eat a chili, you roll at advantage.
Okay.
If you can pass, so basically it's incremental checks. It's going to be incremental constitution checks. If you can pass all the con checks, you win the pot. If you do it and eat 4 chilies, there will be a tangible in-game reward for your character that is not yet decided, but will be something actually good.
And
It
what
better
if
be
we
fucking
what
worth
if we,
it,
what if we
man.
both do it? What if we both do it?
That's not going to happen, mate. We all know Sean's going to wimp out on the 3rd one.
I don't think so.
Will.
I want to put it so just for the podcast. I have 4 chilies randomized. I don't know the heat level of any of them, but they're 4 completely different chilies from Johnny's garden.
Randomised.
Randomized. I've not had a single one.
You
so I
didn't
don't
take any of
even
the
know
ones
what they're-
that Taj gave you, the ones that are like ranging from.
The thing is, I've been
It's just
cooking
super
with those.
hot, really
They're cooking chilies. I don't want to. I don't want to put it. I don't want to think Taj is being cheapened. They're cooking
It's like
chilies. I've been
shade
eating with
Taj,
them.
doesn't it?
Okay.
Right?
Now, I on the
So it's
flip
better.
side
They're
of
better.
this,
They're more useful. They're not going
I-
to embarrass me. They're delicious.
I
So
on the
in this
flip-
pouch, I have these 4.
I, on the flip side of this, forgot to take a portion of those chilies home with me, so have just got rocket chilies, and that's it.
Good lads.
So,
So, first con check is a 10 for your characters. If you eat a chili, the whole chili,
now
you can roll
Sixsmith,
with advantage.
just remember you are sat next to me, so you get a +4 on this roll on this con save.
I'm actually gonna nerf that for this because it is a
Yeah.
game.
Well,
rather than...
So okay, fine.
Because
So
otherwise,
that's-
you're also giving it to the 2 Chenellans on either side of you, because you'd all be.
Oh yeah, we can't have that.
all right. Well,
it
then
will
just
balance out, wouldn't it?
just put us
Yeah.
all 11 feet away from each
So
other.
hold on, before
Yeah.
we go for it, right? Is it if we eat the chili, if
We
I
get
pluck one out
advantage.
of this bag,
Then you
I get
roll.
to roll an advantage on a con save.
If
Yeah.
you don't eat the chili, you're on a
Disadvantage.
disadvantage.
All right, then instead of taking them out
And-
randomly, I'm going to go from
and the
smallest
whole
to
ch-
biggest.
and the
Let's
whole
do it that
chili.
way.
You want to
whole
go biggest
chili.
to smallest, surely. The biggest are always
Chili.
the mildest.
I thought the biggest were always the
All right,
least.
fair enough.
Well,
The
let's
whole-
leave that whole conversation
The
away
whole
from this game,
chili.
shall we?
The whole chili. Or just a bite.
I mean, that's a
Whole
cut.
chili, come on.
Pretty
My
sure
mouth's
that's a
watering
misnomer,
already.
isn't it?
Yeah, Ryan, he's in.
Sean's in.
Oh, that face.
Why are you
That's a
chewing it?
sharpness
That's
to
that's
that
making
face.
it worse. You're chewing it. What's going on? You going hardcore?
Roll with advantage. You just got to beat a 10.
I just want
23.
proof
Yeah.
that I'm doing it. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right.
Yeah, fair play, fair play.
Don't got any milk or anything? Don't fancy.
So the first Chenellan instantly has it and does what I call doing a Brad. Oh no! And he.
Politely.
Janelle
Respect.
can't eat anything. Everything's bland. I'll have some bread and chips, please.
You've never given me anything hot yet, so you don't quite know.
We'll find out next time. And I'm teasing Brad. And so the first Chenellan's like, woo, 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 and he reaches for the beer and drinks it. Oh, bubbles! Oh my God, bubbles! Oh.
Mistake.
Rookie
And
mistake.
he's out.
Rookie mistake. Eh?
And he-
Ah?
can hear the
Took the
crowd
crowd.
going, "Oi!" And Loxton says, "Ha! Marvelous! 3 are left. Now the game begins for real." And his wife
Mate,
brings out
you
another
sweating,
plate
mate?
of food.
I'm fucking sweating already. That is
Listen,
not.
you lucked out, mate. But that was mild. The biggest ones are the mild ones, so that was a nice mild chili, just a
I
bit
warned
of
you.
heat.
I warned you.
First round.
Next
First
up,
round
he
chili.
lays down something kind of equivalent to a bird's eye in our world. Something you know that has a little bit.
I'm nervous for you, boys. I'm nervous.
When you're ready.
No. No. Mm-hmm.
I told you some of them were evil, man.
That was a quick nope as well.
Okay.
That was Teeny
Okay.
and Red. That
Okay.
was Teeny and Red. What's coming up
Oh,
next?
yes,
Uh-huh.
Sean, by the way, remember when I said, yeah, my nan gave me some and said some of them are literally lethal? And I went, no, they're not. Yeah, I had some of the
Johnny,
lethal ones,
what's,
and they were.
what's the DC?
So that one is a second 4. So this is a 15.
I got a 22.
Yeah, you're fine. You're still
I
in.
got a 20 on my first one.
Yeah, so you're
Yeah,
fine. The second
17.
Endearin absolutely just gets up, walks to the edge, chunders, and falls into the water.
Oh,
With
Watch out for the sharks.
anyone looking outside sees just like a pool of red spreading.
horrible.
Oh no.
And the crowd going, hey!
Oh,
Ah,
okay.
seems like the audience might be right. These Chenellans can't handle anything. It's just the 2 gents from my homeland left.
It's got hotter. I'll just let everyone know.
Definitely gotten
it's
hotter.
now than it was when I first ate it.
It's your
Yeah.
eyes. You can tell, Sean, your eyes are getting a bit darker. Rye's got the proper brow sweat going on.
Yep.
Yeah. Gotta remember not to
Don't
touch
drink
your eyes,
beer.
guys.
Don't
Yep,
drink
I
beer.
definitely know.
Dan's
around.
Don't
drinking too
drink
much.
beer.
It helps
Drink-
for a moment and then it's 10 times worse.
No, it
afterwards.
makes it worse. Drink milk.
Taj, we love
Please.
you for this idea, by the way.
Need
This
to
is
get
like the
some
greatest thing ever. I'm having the best
Yeah, but
time.
not during the challenge though. It's not part of the not during
Yeah,
the
yeah.
challenge.
Third
Right.
round, and the equivalent of Scotch bonnets in our worlds come out.
All right.
Oh, Ryan's so bold, he's going straight for it.
Yep, DC this time is a 19.
They can't talk, innit? Go on, Sean. I believe in you. Do it.
Fuck.
You got
That
because you
is-
got to roll with
that is
advantage.
fuck.
19.
Size of your like thumbnail. It's
With
that's
advantage,
small.
how do you do
Just
that?
don't look at the
I
camera,
got-
Sean. Don't look at the camera. And
Do it. He's done it. He's done it.
I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Oh.
No.
An advantage. I rolled
That
a 1
is
and a 2.
unlucky.
So what you find,
Ooh, 24.
Ripper, is that your Chenellan half kicks through with this third chili, as much like you're experiencing in real life, the cumulative chili just gets too much. You feel like you've made it.
That's how it's.
I have to be. I can't. I failed my
You're
check.
out anyway.
So,
Just gonna say,
yeah,
Sean,
that's
it's
smart,
lucky
mate.
you rolled with advantage, because you would have failed otherwise.
so there's one left to get. Sean,
118.
6, what is your constitution modifier? Because I don't want to DC you out by randomly saying something that you cannot beat.
My fiance, who doesn't know what's going on because she's walking, just said, "Good luck with the recording today." I just got a message from her. I desperately need it. My con is +6.
+6. In that case, I'm going to make this a 23 DC.
What the?
What?
That is.
As
cruel.
you see, the
Well, he's the
equivalent
only one
of
left anyway.
a Caroline Reaper comes out.
No.
But like,
Yeah,
you
Sean,
know,
where's
looking
yours?
at it, slightly
Ryan going.
Names I've never heard. Carry on.
Ryan.
that this is like the hottest chili in Indiri. It's dried, you know, it
But
won't
it
have the
has-
potency of one back home.
Is that black?
Yeah, he's going
Oh.
for the black chili.
Jeez.
Ugh.
Jeez.
It's worse.
Yes, well done, right. Get that yogurt out. Jeez.
You were prepared, Ryan. I wasn't.
I was very prepared. I mean,
Oh.
yeah, sure, it's maybe warm. I've been
Doesn't
sitting
matter.
out since we started recording.
You probably need that. You probably need that.
It's not fucking helping.
Right,
It will. It
it's
will.
23 DC. How does Sixsmith do on this last chili? So far, it's been breeze for him.
Eat the fucking chili, Sean. Eat it. I love you.
Go,
In
go
advance,
on, you
I
can
love
do it.
you.
We love you. You're
Also,
amazing.
you're-
He's
also-
done it!
He's
He's
done it.
done it!
So small and it's
Swallow,
so
swallow, swallow, swallow,
No!
swallow.
Okay. Can
Maybe
I?
Sean as well.
I'm gonna just give him the victory
I think you
because,
need
like,
to.
Yeah.
dice rolls at this point are immaterial. That was pretty legendary.
Oh, Lordy.
Because yeah, dice are one thing, but that's more hardcore than dice. Congratulations, my friends. As like the crowd erupts wildly, the Loxon looks surprised for a moment, and then cheers and runs up and hugs you. And his wife runs up and hugs you and says, "Oh, it's so wonderful to see someone actually eating properly. It was more than deserved." And thrusts into your hand a pot which contains 40 gold.
I still
He
hasn't,
does a convincing Loxodon. Yeah, that's bullshit. 40 gold. But anyway,
hasn't helped as well.
he does like a lot. Oh man, he does a convincing Loxodon like noise with his trunk noise.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't have a trunk, he sort of channels his spirit.
Well, what I'm going to do before we move on, we're going to go to a break now so these
Yeah,
two
we
can
are.
actually recover for a second.
So mean
Right,
if you
Rye's having a religious experience right
I am.
now.
My eyes are watering so much, and I can't touch them.
Can't touch them.
He's entering the astral realm.
Ooh, I've eaten an entire pot of yogurt, and it hasn't helped.
Right, we will see you in a few minutes, folks, and we will be back to pick up once these two have probably gone and done something to help themselves feel human again. Epic, though,
Vomit.
lads. Well done. Well done. You made it.
Well, I'm deadly impressed.
Yeah, I'm very
The
impressed.
Scott brothers coming through.
They don't care. They just want the break.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
Next up, you know that
Stepped up.
Brad and Christine, we're going to have to get you doing the food challenge, but your food challenge will be sausage rolls.
Oh,
Um,
bring it on.
vegetarian
Bring
ones,
it
no?
on.
Of course,
Vegetarian ones.
Christine. Yeah, of course.
Probably good.
Different levels of cheese.
Or pepper. How peppery can you get?
Pretty peppery.
Marvellous. Go on, Brad, take us out. We'll see you all in a few minutes, folks. And welcome back.
Oh,
Ryan and
fun-
Sean are still alive.
fun little family story. Sean and our late grandfather was notoriously known for going out to functions with a bag of chilies in his pocket. Right, so he would go to like.
Dan knows this. That's how
Dan
you know
knows
him,
this.
basically,
Yes,
isn't it?
yeah.
As Des with the chilies.
Des with the chilies.
There's with the chilies. He'd always, even if he went out to a restaurant or a work dinner or like a charity ball or whatever, he'd have a couple of chilies in the pocket at all times, and he would like we were doing at the dinner table, would just eat them raw. He would take a couple spoonfuls of food, bite a chili.
Well,
Which I love doing. It's not okay to just eat them without food.
Yeah.
That's
The closest my granddad ever got was we went out to a British Thai fusion restaurant where it's pretty obvious that the landlord has just got, you know, some kind of Thai bride.
gastro, some
Put
sort of
them
gastro
together.
pub.
He was ridiculously hard of hearing. He couldn't hear you, but he could always hear my nan, no matter how far away she was, saying, you know, just do this. But he had what he always has, which was meat and 2 veg, nice simple food, and then we had the little. I think he just had like spring rolls and a sweet chili dip. And you just went, "What's this jam?" And just came and said something in it. And his face. Nobody tell him. Let's see what happens.
It's hot jam. It's hot jam.
talking of
Sweet
hot
chili.
jam,
Uh-oh.
I'm going to pull us back. And so we find ourselves with Six. How do you think Six is doing after this event?
He gets that euphoria you get when the heat of the chili dies down, but the endorphins kick in. So actually, he's ready to have a fucking great time. Chilies remind him of home. He's got the rush on. He knows why, is from where he is and what he loves. And I think it's sort of energized him to enjoy the carnival as Ripper would.
I think Ripper gives him a big hug as he comes off the stage.
Yeah, he's grateful
That's
to receive it,
amazing.
gives it back.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the Loxodon is going to kind of put an arm around you and pull you to one side, Six, and say,
Can you put his trunk around me and pull me to
"Yeah,
one side?
of course." So it's trunk arm, and he says, "Well, I've got to be honest. No one has ever managed the last ones. My wife grows them especially, and they are pretty vicious."
You need to send her my compliments. They're the best we've had since we left Interi, and maybe even across Interi, maybe still.
I
the best.
certainly shall, but there's something about you. I think we're alike, you and I. I would actually like to give you something extra, because, you know, it's only a little bit of gold, and I can see you're already far wealthier than that. But, don't tell anyone. Come with me. And he leads you kind of through some side flaps into kind of what's clearly like his living area. And you see it's just a lot of kind of dark wood and statues of the gods, and there's a small temple praying area, and the beds. And then there looks to be manacles.
Okay.
And he kind of lifts up these manacles, except they're not bound by anything. They're kind of, well, how did I describe them?
They like the Wonder Woman.
Yeah, essentially like
Braces.
two
or
gold
greaves or... Right.
and he says, I served, 100 years ago. I retired, came north for my own reasons, and I took these with me. These were awarded to me by the God King himself. But, well, I'm old and I don't need them, and I sense that you, young buck, might be going into some scrapes, and anyone who can eat my wife's cooking deserves these. And he just hands them to you. He says, I wouldn't put them on now, but they'll do you in good stead. And above the table, you can add gravity plates to your inventory. It
Wow.
should be on D&D Beyond.
Okay.
Does that mean when he jumps, he doesn't come back down anymore?
No, this is essentially +1 half plate armor.
Wow.
This is. Remember we talked about your Iron Man suit?
Uh-huh.
These are the. So remember in was it Iron Man 2 or 3, he has the things and he clicks them together and the suit flies to him.
Yes.
This is essentially plates that are bound together by gravity.
That's
you
so
can
good.
quick activate them, and as an action, don +1 plate armor.
That's
half plate
amazing.
armor.
Because the thing is, like, a soldier
Yes.
not being able to get his armor on quickly is, that feels like
Where
a
do the
drawback.
plates come from? Like from the sky? It's like...
Oh, we'll have to figure that out, won't we? There's gonna have to be
They
something
come
else.
from the plot device at the moment. It's, you know, it's cool
Wait,
narrative fluff.
They come from the celestial plane, the same place as the bull, right? Same
Yeah,
place
exactly.
as the
On
So
the
when you're
plus
not wearing
side,
them,
Here's the thing, right? You can. Is it an action or a quick action?
it's
to
an
do?
action.
Action. So you can take off your armor to stealth,
bull. Yes.
so that you don't get disadvantage.
So I'll be like a proper Bollywood star in my little sort of my little pants and like my rippling bod.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
If you move too far away, because basically the plates will stay where you last used them. They kind of just fall into the ether there. So when you click them out, there is they have a move speed of 50 feet per round.
Okay.
So as an example, if you were attacked at night and you ran to the other end of the hall and were fighting, it would take an action for them, like an Iron Man, to travel that distance. It's
Okay.
not psh, and they materialize out of nowhere. But they will travel up to 200 feet to attach themselves to you. So to
That's
be fair,
awesome.
that's a hell of a way.
Yeah.
I can't think of many ways where that wouldn't work, but I needed to give them some in-game limitations.
Yeah, of course.
otherwise it
Yeah,
becomes ridiculous.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, man.
Um,
that now I feel good eating those 4
super
chilies.
cool.
Yeah,
that's
it was
such a good reward.
We've spoken about it a long
You
time,
earned it.
and I wanted to give you something.
It was a long time
genuinely
ago.
good.
I'd completely
Yeah.
forgotten. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So there you go.
Yeah, thanks.
Uh,
In game, Six like bows like he does like the sort of he'll go right down to his hands and knees. He doesn't know any other way to thank this this old sort of veteran Loxodon enough. He just goes down onto his hands and knees. Great, accepts it like like you would accept a samurai sword or something, and he stays bowed until he's sort of released. I guess.
He touches you on the forehead and lifts you up. Please, the honor is mine. Now go, join the revel. I've plenty more locals to swindle.
Yeah, he gives him a knowing laugh, and asks. I'm sure there's an exchange where maybe he can get just one of those chilies just for future cooking.
His wife just walks past, gives you a look. Don't see them all at once. Just hands you a small pouch.
Yeah. Okay.
Marvelous.
Who's
Back
ready?
out in the crowd, who's doing what?
I'm sort of like recovering a little bit by the side.
While they're recovering, I grabbed Faezer's hand. I was like, we should probably get out of here before they make us eat chilies. Exactly. Let's go.
Really don't let them make me. Okay.
Octavius, Susan both leaving and is now torn about who to follow.
Can I just say also, by the way, that just as an aside before we move on, smiling, the heat comes back. I don't know why it's never happened to me before ever, but when I'm enjoying myself and I smile now,
Did
the
any of
heat.
it touch your lips?
No, I'm not. Come on, we're veterans.
They weren't,
But
Does the air make it like?
I think the
I think when you
cheeks
go-
touch each other and they send the
Remind each
heat.
other the pain.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Carry on.
That's alright.
So, Lack and Faeza, as you were moving off, can you both make me a perception check, please?
Sure.
Ooh, I got a 21.
And I got to 26. I just want to say, some point I engaged the sparkly new dice on D&D Beyond, and I am here for it. They are
Great, aren't they?
glittertastic. Yeah.
Fantastic. So as you both move off, you kind of both move away from the kind of the obvious games, as it were. And Faeza, something catches your eye. In the distance, you see a sign that says Museum of Wonders.
With the E backwards and wonders with the Z,
It's
yeah?
Mu-Seem. It is fantastically misspelt.
Perfect.
Now she
Lack.
got that.
You see a figure in the crowd who turns around. He's kind of towering over everyone else. He's about 6'5", completely pale skin, covered in blue woad patterns. Just peeking over his right shoulder is a sword with a lion's head that stretches back down. The sides of his head are completely shaved. And on top is kind of a floppy blonde, dark, dirty blonde mess. And it's kind of that thing like you see someone in the crowd where they turn around and see you, and he's looking at you, and he smiles, and he speaks. He's about 100 feet away, but you hear it as though he's in your ear. Well, you finally found me. Come along. And he walks into the museum.
Do I recognise that voice? If not
Yes.
the person.
Yes. This is the voice you have been hearing.
I'm assuming that I haven't heard that voice.
Nope. So you're just walking along and you see a museum.
In which case,
Hey,
she's gonna
Faeza.
tug like Steve and go,
Yes.
could I think that looks quite interesting. What do you think?
What were you talking about?
Museum of Wonder. I mean, it's just.
I wanted to go the other way, but okay, let's go in. You're. Yes, let's go.
Okay, great.
So as you enter into this dark, musty smelling tent. There is a teenage boy leaning against the concession stand, essentially. Hello and welcome to the Museum of Wonders.
This is the guy from Simpsons who's always trying to sell people popcorn and things.
No. It is one goal to enter and see the wonders of the known world.
Okay.
That is exactly
The
the
gnome
voice. I love
world?
it, by the way.
The gnome world or the known world?
Yes.
Ah, okay. And I'll flick him 2 gold pieces then. Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
you walk in.
Is there any is there a shop? Because every museum has to have a shop.
Not
is that
yet.
What is that?
On the way out. It's on the way out, isn't it?
Always
Always.
get you on the way out. So as you push through again, another set of kind of large, musty-smelling tent flaps. What you find is that there's dust on the floor. You very quickly get the sense that this part of the Revel, not many people come here very often. There doesn't seem to be anything to do. There are 6 kind of exhibits around the room. If you'd like to make me a perception check, we'll see which one grasps our eyes first.
I got a 17.
I got a 27.
Okay.
Those sparkly dice working for me.
Your eyes are both drawn to what appears to be a large creature. It's kind of got the body of this like long shaggy fur. It stands maybe 8 feet tall, but on its head, and you can both see the stitching. And this 8-foot tall creature is a normal owl's head.
Okay.
Like, 6 inches tall.
This is taxidermy, right? So it's dead.
Yeah, it's stuffed.
Check in. Don't know.
Yeah,
Magic world.
stuffed.
Just check.
And it's kind of in a fierce position. So it's a tiny little owl head on a giant bear body. And the plate underneath says, "Authentic owl bear from Eleusaria."
Yes, I've heard of these. I've heard
How do you-
rumor of these.
Where? Elvisaria.
Eleusaria.
Elvisaria. Elvis.
Yes.
Eleusaria.
LVIS.
I love that,
Something like
like, so Brad and myself have been in a game of this, so we know what it is. But Christine's like,
I'm trying to get in my notebook.
Yeah.
I'm like, my ears prick up. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I've been there.
So for me, who's obviously not versed, was the above table gag.
So the above table gag is the owl bear is a really classic D&D monster, which is a bear with a giant owl's head.
Okay.
But it's an actual thing. This is a bear, like someone who's heard of an owl bear and put an owl's head, tiny little owl's head.
It's also the slayer of many, many player characters in previous Dungeons and
It's
Dragons. They were
Yeah.
horrible.
Brutal, like level 3 fight that you put them in.
In which case,
And they just kill you.
Faeza's gonna get one of her arrowheads and like her arrows, so
Oh, it's definitely dead.
That's good. That's okay.
Yeah.
And she's going to maybe have a look around. Like, is it on a stand? Is it?
Yeah,
is
it's
there
on a
anything
plinth, it's kind
interactive
of-
with it, or
So yeah, there is on the stand. There is like a kind of slightly pulsing stone.
okay? Does it say anything on it like push here? Or
Just a
anything
stone. You could try pushing it.
Like, okay.
So there is emanating then out of the owl's tiny fluffy heads comes a
Oh, it's like the science museum.
the owlbear is the most terrifying creature known to the Elusarians. It is known slayer of many adventurers. Be thankful they are not on our shores. This one had to
while
be
this
brought
goes
over.
on, Lack like ducks away and leaves because Faze is quite obviously enraptured
Yeah.
by this whole thing,
She
probably
really
taking
is.
notes.
She won't notice.
He's off.
So this whole hall is filled with exhibits like that. So one in particular grabs your attention, Faeza, which you walk over to. Can you just roll me an insight check as you come towards a rather miraculous-looking creature?
Okay. Ooh, natural 20 plus a 1, 21.
That's very apt. As you come towards a creature that it essentially looks like a giant ape, except it has 6 arms. And it also has the head of a vulture. You know that this creature is a native to Zawati.
Okay.
However, the one in front of you is an absolute joke. It is clearly 6 bits of something sewn together with a chicken head on top rather than an ostrich. As you touch the button again, it says, "The mighty Zuastra stalks the jungles of Zawati, picking off visitors who are unaware in the jungle. This one was brought over by," and then it says some kind of name of an adventurer. "Be grateful that it's dead."
She takes a note of the name. She's like, I'm going to have a word with this. Gentleman.
There's some inaccuracies here.
Something's not right. In fact, she started to go, do you know what? I need to feed. I need to write a letter.
There's a comments card. Yeah.
As you look around, you very quickly get the sense that this museum doesn't have much authentic in it.
No.
So, Lack, I'm going to go back to your earlier roll of the 26, I think it was. As you see Faeza enraptured, you slip off looking for that figure. And you don't see him. But as you walk through the various past the exhibits, that you again very quickly go, that's not an Indiri. That's definitely not what they look like. And you get the sense that this is very much a scam. Your eye is drawn by a glass case that has like a coppery, bronzy lump of rock in. And as you walk past, lettering almost seems to appear and disappear.
Well, I'll do that thing where you when you walk past a shop window and something catches your eyes, you do that, lean back just to see what's going on.
And as you go back, you see there is a card next to it, and in the immaculate copper plate writing, it says, "This artifact was recovered from the wastes of the blighted wastes and brought here by," and again it's this same guy who seems to be collecting stuff and bringing it here. No one knows what it is for, and no one can read the writing. And as you stare at the writing, you hear a voice in your head saying, "It would help if you look at it in your actual form."
So I was going to do, so I look left, look right, and then I think, and this sort of half shape, we're not quite sure what shape it is yet, but it's like the same, made of the same substance as his arms, appears over half of his face, like a half mask type.
Yeah.
And his eyes light up.
The writing on the stone flares, and it's sort of like when you get like opposites, like blue and pink, or like purple and green, and it has that kind of weird iridescent, almost 3D scope to it. And this light kind of pops out, and you very, very clearly can read. Divine ones, born of the mother, by these vows we bind our souls, that we may serve life and creation may continue. The first vow shall set us on our path. The second shall show us the journey. The third shall reunite us. I stand between dusk and dawn. I shall not waver. My blood for theirs, that none may fall. And then you can see it should carry on, and that's where it's fractured.
Okay. Who's the name? What's the name of this person?
The name underneath says Mustafson.
Mustafson. Is anyone around?
Make a perception check.
24.
No one seems to be around.
Okay. He takes the rock.
Okay.
Shove it into my little pack.
Okay.
How heavy is it?
I mean, it's a good like 3 feet across. It's a chunk.
Shit,
it's not
I
like
didn't
a
realise
little
it was
rock.
that
No,
big.
no, no, no.
So it's like a bit of a tablet.
Yeah.
In which case, could I take because I got my brother's book.
Absolutely, you can take a rubbing. Yeah.
Take a brass rubbing. I'm going to take a brass rubbing,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna write down from the.
You find some weird little
blighted
pictures
ways.
as you're flicking through for a page.
Oh
of,
yeah,
like,
I've already seen those.
Yeah,
and when he
okay.
gets back to it, he'll realise that one of the fins at the bottom has an anatomically correct phallus attached
Good.
to it. But he won't know that until he gets back to
Brothers.
it.
Of course. Really.
Brothers. Anyway, so I'm going to take a brass rubbing and also write down the inscription at the bottom, and I'm going to handwrite what the translation is in case it doesn't come out. All really quickly because I've seen my brother and Faeza do it.
Okay. And as you finish, kind of scribbling it on Faeza, this is the point where you kind of walk in with your thing of complaints going on, checking each one, and you find Lack there.
Lack, you will not
Look,
believe. You will not believe the inaccuracies that are going on here. Honestly,
Do you know?
I don't think they're real. I think that
What?
someone has been very dishonest to people and to charge a gold.
This person, this Mustafa, this person.
He's been very, very creative, but in a bad way. I mean,
You
if
know what we
someone
should
were
do?
to
We
actually-
should find him. We should find him and make these complaints, huh?
I think that's perfect because if someone thought that what that was like Zawastras are horrible, they're very, very scary, and I don't think they would recognize a real Zawastra if it came along and they thought that that's what it would look like. They might go, "Oh, look, this is okay. It sort of looks like a Zawastra, but it's not a real one, so I'm safe." And then they wouldn't run and hide, and that's dangerous. So
I know.
yes, let's go make a complaint.
Well, look at this thing from Indiri. It has 6 too many arms.
Oh,
Have you
is
ever
it?
seen an Indiri with more than 2 arms?
I'm gonna write that down.
Okay. Anyway, I think you're right. I think you should go. I'll come with you, but you should go to the counter and you should demand to see this man.
Okay, should we go via the shop?
You're
I'm
right.
just-
How dare they do that kind of thing, Faeza?
Okay. Well, are there arrows to like point the way out or anything, or is like in museums? Or is
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, they are being very socially conscious to make sure people follow the one-way system at the moment. The last thing we want is another
Yes.
plague in Chanella.
It's like IKEA, you know, when you get
Absolutely.
Yeah.
2 meters,
Very
2 meter
nice.
distance.
And yet you follow through, and you kind of come to another bit which is kind of similar old artifacts, but as you're walking through, like, none of them trigger anything in you. You're keeping your eye out for a figure. You can't see him, but you do again hear another voice saying, "It's nearly time. You will find me at the heart. I await you there. Bring your friends. I will need you all."
I think, okay, really hard.
You hear nothing back.
I know, I can never talk back to him.
And as you kind of lead yourselves out, you find gift shop is the wrong word, because gift shop implies a respectable establishment. There is a place that had, I went to the Revel and all I got was this lousy toga, and similar kinds of just really naff things. It's like
a Parliament Square gift shop.
I have a feeling that Faeza's probably, because in her travels, if she finds a museum or museum, whatever, then she's got some comparisons to make, and she's just like, well, this just takes the biscuit. I just don't. I can't. Where is the owner? Like, is there a counter and a bell or something? She's like, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, you see a counter that has got like a little handheld bell that you can pick up and ting.
Ding, 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 ding. Excuse me. Hello.
As you do, there is like a.
Someone.
And standing there is the same teenage boy going, "How can I help you?"
Well, that was efficient. Now, are you this Mr. Mustafson?
No,
Who is this Mr. Mustafson?
I just work here. I don't know.
Well, who pays your wages, young man?
That would be the madam.
Right, okay, well then we need to go talk to the madam. I think this is atrocious. I've written a letter. I pass it over to him. You will understand most of the problems here. But I really honestly think that you should, first of all, you should be very honest. This is not a museum of wonders at all. This is a museum of
lies.
Of cobbles. Cobbled together.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it.
Badly. I think it's just dangerous. I think this place is dangerous, not because I think it's going to fall down and hurt someone, but museums should be educational, and this is not educational. This is going to.
Fifth horseman of the apocalypse is misinformation.
Yes, absolutely.
Loving
yes.
the mental image of this poor teenage shop guy.
Being dressed down by a red gnome.
I'm just a Saturday boy.
And she's 3'2", just going, now listen. Like, la la la, all of that stuff.
I saw that meme the other day as well, Dan. So yeah.
So you see, I'm staying relevant.
Oh.
She goes, I'll pass it on to my supervisor when I see them.
Good. Now I've got a copy of this letter, so if you can please make sure that it gets handed to them directly. I've got a bangle. I understand you can all find us all with these bangles.
Did you not want a mug then?
No, that mug is terrible. Thank you very much.
That mug is a lie. I bet it doesn't even hold a drink properly.
I cannot fathom. Every time I would drink tea out of that, I would just be reminded of what's going on. No,
it's quite like a money back, actually, if I'm honest.
I would like my money back. Thank
you have to ask the madam about that.
Fine, we will.
Sure.
How do we find the madam again? Where is she?
Just
Written.
center of the Revel.
She's in the middle of the logarithmic spiral. Huh?
Oh, I see. Okay. See, logarithmic. That's educational.
Well, it's more concentric than anything, if I'm honest.
Well, we asked someone and he didn't know, so I assumed.
Okay. I do that a lot.
Good. Well, either way, you seem like a vaguely intelligent boy. I think that
That's
you should
very
perhaps...
flattering, Faeza. He doesn't look intelligent at all, does he?
I said vaguely. I don't want to...
Okay, I see what you say.
I can literally hear you.
Oh, you were meant to?
I think that perhaps you should look at a different career, because I can imagine that you're not learning very much here. Okay.
You could do so much more with yourself. With that voice, you could become a speaker, maybe?
And with that, she's got her cloak, she's stayed up poised, she sweeps it around her shoulders and out.
I should probably follow her, but you have a good weekend, huh?
Have a nice day.
And we must find this madam. We must find this madam.
We must. You're right. We must find. Let's find the others first,
okay.
And then we'll take them all.
Okay, we'll do that.
As you two walk out, he does the thing that all people do who kind of enjoy that customer service experience. They take your complaint and they file it in the bin.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right, she's got a copy.
I've been complaining to the madam about you.
And he goes, clicks his fingers and disappears, and he's back outside the front, although you cannot see that. And you walk out a little deeper into the Revel itself. At this point, we're going to cut back to Ripper.
So Ripper obviously sees Six coming out of the tent, coming straight out the flaps, and
hey, come on, Ripper, we need to do something else. Let's do something next.
Yeah,
come on, I'm ready.
I think there's let's have a little walk around. Let's see what there are. I reckon you're do you reckon there's something like around it we can play against each other?
Yeah, competition or something. Yeah, it's good. You know, in the army they used to.
Well, I mean, you said no violence, right? So we can't wrestle. As much as I'd love to wrestle,
Yeah, that's good for morale and everything. Yeah.
Roll up. Who would like to undertake games of skill? Who amongst you has the skill to best your friends and prove that they are the best?
It's almost as if we had this planned. Right. All right. What's that? Let's go and check that out.
And you see a place where there is a guy who, I mean, there's no top hats because this is kind of based on classical era, but he's got essentially like 10 feathers just jauntily stuck out of a headband, none of which match. They're all, and some of them are like rook and crow feathers. And
It's actually a vibe. Not gonna lie to you.
like a weird peacock feather, what would be parrot feathers, and then his toga is made of sateen, and it's mostly yellow, but with kind of pink checks on it, apart from a couple of red blotches. Right then, ladies and gentlemen and others, we are here to witness some games of skill. Look at this, our last contestants are on their way to the healing tent. Who is next up?
Oh yeah, we'll give it a go. Yeah.
Marvellous. Will it be games of strength or games of skill?
Why not both?
I know just the thing! And, like, it's, come, ladies and gentlemen, we have our 2 new contestants. Here's the deal. Who will stand on the Wheel of Death? And you can see there is a wooden wheel, maybe like 6 feet round. And it's got handholds on it all the way around, and some straps that you can see are clearly for someone to strap themselves in. And then opposite that, around 10 feet away, is your table and knives.
You know what? Listen, I like the Wheel of Death. I like the name. It's exciting. I'd like to throw a few first just to get a feel for the knife. I don't mean to be difficult.
You absolutely can go first, my purple cloaked friends. The wheel awaits you.
All right, listen, before we get on the wheel, I just want to say, let's raise the stakes. If we win, we get your hat. My friend here, he needs your hat. He's got to have it. Look at him. He's 1 hat shy of a full ripper.
That makes literally no sense, but the entry is a mere 5 silver each. You pay 5 silver, you can win up to, that's right, 10 gold. That's a good return on your money. If you want the hat, if either of you get a perfect score, I will consider it.
I like the idea that he's got like 100 of exactly the same hat. He's playing hardball, but he's just got like a load of the same hat.
So all right, fine. I'll get on the Wheel of Death. All right, fine. I try. Look, 6. I know. I've seen you.
Ripper, listen, man, I'm having a good time, but I need to know the weight of the knife. I need to know the make. I need to know how it flies through the air, how to hold it. I can't just throw it at a friend.
And like, all right. Sometimes just gotta play the cards as they fall, and he goes and stands on the wheel.
Okay. It's really hard to find equivalents in the ancient world, but if they were in our world, they would be too heavily made up and chewing gum.
So before...
You know what I mean? Assistants come out. They're not chewing gum. In fact, they're chewing some kind of leaf or something that has like a flavour that we would describe in our world as juicy fruit. To them.
In fact, one's called juicy and one's called fruit. That's how they...
Possibly. Who knows?
Are they up on
Surely
stage?
one's called Wrigley.
No, that's the guy. That's the guy who runs the game.
Yeah.
That's it. That is
Yes.
it.
Welcome to Wrigley's Knife Emporium. And they like... Now we must warn you that there is every chance that you might be skewered. Thank you for taking part. They just as they're binding your things there. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, our colleague here with the nifty red coat is going to throw knives at the half-naked one. Will he miss? Will he kill his friends? Who knows?
Yeah, Wrigley, the guy on the way here said no violence, so I'm assuming this won't hurt him if I hit him with it, right?
I guess we'll find out.
Just
Don't worry.
remember, it'll be all right now. And that is a throwback. That is a
terrible.
Deep
Wrigley's
cuts.
terrible Wrigley's throwback.
He goes, I wouldn't worry. We've got the best healers on hand to help.
It's all right. I can do that myself.
And there's quite a a clearly half asleep, let themselves go because the uniform doesn't quite fit right. Kind of looks like an ex-medic, just half asleep, belly out of the uniform, beer resting on it, looking over.
So has he got a sad clown face on as well?
No. Just sitting there, like, not even looking. All right, are you ready to play? Stab your friend or win the money.
Okay.
He's not very inventive with the names of this game, is he?
Well, at least he says it is what it says on the on the title.
Okay.
Just all right. Just.
Okay. So here's how we're going to do this. Basically, there are 5 knives. This is essentially a game of called shots. So there are 3 DCs, depending on what you want to call. Okay. It's basically easy 10, medium, hard. Medium 15, hard 20. That's how close you get them to Ripper.
Okay.
In order to win the pot, you have to get at least 1 hard. Okay.
Shall I there's 5 knives. I guess they're different types of knives. I'll just go from easiest to hardest.
Oh, no, the knives, you're just going to be rolling. These
okay.
are,
5 of the same knife, but
it's
I
where
have
you
to
place
roll.
them. That's
okay.
what you're doing.
Fair enough.
So, I am going to call this a dexterity checks, because you're trying to throw these with kind of precision and skill, rather than like attack rolls, which would be to specifically kind of spin someone.
What was the 3 schools of magic we couldn't cast again?
Enchantment,
Divination,
and illusion.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you want to give him some help because he might need it.
I can't because the one that I wanted to do was a touch spell, and you're already on stage. So
you can grab his ankle.
So basically, if you get there's a cash multiplier here. So basically, each is worth a set amount of gold. An easy hit is worth 5 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Medium hit is worth 10 gold. Hard hit is worth 20 gold. So if you get 5 hards, you walk away with 100 gold.
Well, I'll start with an easy first. That's the best way to do it, right?
Okay. Right. So you've just got to make a dex check and beat a 5. Beat a 10.
Okay, Ripper.
Okay.
Okay, Ripper. Right. Okay, Ripper.
Right. So he hefts the knife, and he goes.
Just calm down.
I'm glad I've got you in this position actually, because I've been meaning to talk to you about something. Now seems like the right time.
Okay.
I've got a leadership question to ask, really, and I'm glad there's nobody else here. It's just you and I and a couple of Interians.
And all the people watching, but I think we'll be fine.
Get on with it!
So, you're quite commanding. People listen to you. I'm used to it back in the force, but I find it very difficult. These days. I know. I think I've proven myself worthy. I think it's I don't know, a trust thing. I don't know what it is. What do you think it is?
Well, clearly, 6, I trust you. Otherwise, I wouldn't be standing on a board if you're about to throw knives at me, would you? Look, people are different, right? Not everyone comes from a family that's had military presence or been in a military family. So, or a big family for that matter. Like, the thing is, people don't listen to each other. That's just natural, right? I come from a big family, and like one of my brothers, he's left. He's estranged. He's left the family. No one speaks to him anymore because we argue all the time. No one will listen to each other. My parents still put out a plate for him for dinner, hoping he'd come back one day. But we still love him, whether he listens to us or not.
And he throws the knife as he finishes, as a punctuation mark to his sentence.
Make me a dex check, please.
First roll is 19.
It hits comfortably like away from everybody. And you hear the audience go, "Hey!" That's 5 gold in the bank.
Look, what I'm trying to say is, just don't worry about it, right? Like I know I'm in a compromising position now, but it's just
No, listen. You say don't worry about it, but if I didn't worry about the way I was throwing this knife right now, if I did it without thinking, if I was reckless, if I did it without calculating the risks of this blade and yourself, I might hit you, I might damage you, I might permanently cripple you. These are not things that can be easily undone.
We can only hope there is a permanent crippling today.
You heard it here, folks. You know, I think we've got Octavius said the other day, did you hear him? He said he would die for us. And it was very heartwarming, you know? But that's almost more worrying to me. I'm used to just, the people that die around me, some of them are brothers, some of them I don't know, some of them are enemies. We have a soldier in our crew who's left because of the creed. We have a gnome who may not have seen the things we've seen. And my brother, he's all education, no real world experience, He's all like, oh, I've gone away and I've learned all this stuff. He comes back, he thinks he knows everything,
And what does that leave me?
He's reckless, man, it's not nice to talk about people when you're right in front of them. Better to talk about them behind their backs. If I worry, if I wanted to talk about the gods, I might ask Faeza, or maybe yourself. If I wanted to consult on maybe direction on life, or maybe like an uplift, I might talk to you. I might talk to Octavius if I want to know maybe a heading, or maybe some advice about something. I don't mind not being adhered to, but not being taken seriously for my experience. It's hurtful, it's difficult. And he throws the knife. He throws the.
So you're going for an easy, medium, or hard one?
I think that's a hard one because he's just talked about how it's
DC
sort of actually hurts him. Oh shit! Well, he got a natural 1 + 2. So like this is him, like he's really out of step when he's like, I'm really hurt.
Can
like,
you just roll a d6 for me?
The mental image as well.
D4.
I'm really hurt.
You think you're hurt? Oh man, it's a 6.
No, sorry, I said a d4.
Oh,
I changed. I said d4.
Right.
Cracking.
Excited.
It's a 3.
3. Ripper, you take 3 points of damage as this knife just goes flat out, sticking into the meat of your thigh as you are spinning. And you hear the audience go, "Hey!"
And six isn't even. He's not even aware. He's like in the middle of his monologue. He doesn't even know he's done it. I wouldn't care about helping them stay safe if I didn't care for them.
I get it.
It's more painful because I care about them. And he's still riding the high of the chili, and the crowd from before.
Look, I get it, right? It's tough sometimes, right? And when people don't listen to you, don't feel like alright, especially when you're the one making the right decision. Like Six, you've been right about a lot of things, right? Been right about a lot of things, and no one tells you that. Your brother won't tell you that because it's out of pride. And same thing with Octavius as well. But the thing is, like, you can't be annoyed with that. The longer that you burden yourself down with people not paying attention to you and not listening to you, the more often you have to carry that weight with you wherever you go. It's a burden, and you need to shed burdens. Do you think I'm walking around with every mistake that I've ever made in my life, and where people haven't listened to me or I've done something wrong in my life? No, of course not.
It's funny. I
talked
talked to the
board while you're throwing a knife at me.
Listen, I talked to the fawn, Captain Maxime. She said the same thing. She said, "Cut the dead weight." But that's not who I am. That might be good advice for her. I mean, they were going through a lot of tough times. But if we trust somebody and they attack us, whose fault is that?
I literally have a knife sticking out my thigh right now.
and he throws without paying attention. He's not even paying attention. He throws a third, a medium, I think, for this one.
Medium. Okay, DC's 15.
It's a 9.
Roll another D4.
I love he's not paying any attention at all. 3.
So it's the other leg. It's the other leg, the exact same leg.
Ace Ventura 2.
Yeah. You know, Ripper is gesturing with the 4th knife. You know, Ripper. They don't have to listen to me, but they do need to trust me. You know, we're all good at something, and I'm good at spotting the dangers in this world, wherever we are. You know, in Deary, Chinella, wherever. You know, but and I had you know, I had a team back at home. It's very close to you know, the hand of the captain's hand. It's how we do the army thing. I had the thumb and all the fingers, and I was the hand, the leader. They were very good. It was small team peacekeeping, really. You know, there's some samurai from the other parts of the world. You know, you might have heard of them. But I don't know. There were a fairly large amount of people, and I don't know. I don't know. Can you understand what it's like to be so close to such a you know, amount of people like that? I don't know.
What do you mean?
And I suppose he's like inquiring about your family, because he doesn't know anything about your family at all, really. He
Well,
knows you've got an estranged brother, but he doesn't really know.
down.
Yeah. He's like,
Well,
sees
I
Blood
mean-
is
yeah,
like
whatever.
spiraling
Carry on.
all over his body.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, you know, my mum was, well, my dad was a soldier, right? Was a Chilean soldier, and so you'd think that he was tough. He was tough with us, right? He really was. But the thing is, and our mum was really sweet, but she wouldn't let us get away with anything, and he wouldn't even let him get away with anything either. So, you know, in such the size of the family that I had, I get it. We all fight, we listen to each other, we love each other, we hate each other, we get beaten by each other. You know, it just happens, right? And like, I'm not claiming to be the fact that I came out of all of those good, and the fact that you know, the way that it happened wasn't wrong or right. But I wouldn't be the person I am today without the failures to the equal amount of triumphs that I've had or more. So, of course I get you. But you just gotta chill out.
It's not. Yeah. And he throws an easy.
Easy. Gotta beat a 10.
Dirty 20.
So this one very comfortably, like a foot wide, kind of in between the arm and the leg, right in the middle. There's another 5 gold in your pocket.
Six, listen, right? You've only got one more knife, make it count. But for what it's worth, I do trust you. I do listen to you, but you can't always expect everyone to listen back to you, all right? You just can't expect that from anyone. But in the future, I'll take the things that you're saying under consideration before I do something brash that I am not already comfortable doing. Like standing on a spinning board while you throw knives at me. This ain't the first time I've had knives thrown at me. It's not the first time I've been tied to a circular
Yeah,
board
but you've
either.
not had this much fun doing it, have you, before? So, you know, this is good.
The next wounds could kill him. How will this final one go?
Hey, listen, man. Like, we put on a good show for you. If I throw this last one, I throw it well. I want the hat no matter what. I don't care about the gold, whatever. I just need that hat. All right.
I just love the idea that this is the most bonding Six has had with another member of the party, throwing knives at someone.
Under duress, spinning around like he's. I think he's like a seize the moment kind of guy. So if he sees a guy who can't escape from like a discussion, he's gonna take it. You know. So he's just he just wraps it up, and his last sort of thing is like, you know, Ripper, you know, like you're saying about your family, you know, it's a big family, and there's your mother and father. You know, it's very different in our family. We had a mother and mother, but it's same sort of principle. Like there was maybe one was there with the the stick and one was there with the carrot, but they always, imagine they would have supported each other. I think I just need, my brother. He's in his own head. He can't come out of it. I know what it was like when I was his age. I was in my own head too. He's not climbed out of it yet. So I need somebody just, if you think it's right in the moment, just to support me. I think that's it. Just a 2IC, if you like. I don't want to lean on the other members. Faeza has some things to tell us. I don't know much about her, to be honest. I like her. I just don't know. Octavius, he's good, but he doesn't want. He's not about that life. The army, that sort of direction, the strictness, the code. I don't know. It's
If what you're suggesting
upset him.
If what you're suggesting isn't dumb, then I will listen. Always 6. I will listen.
I want that hat, mate. Yeah. And he goes for a hard one.
Okay, go for it.
Aims it right at his crotch.
I'm a moneymaker.
Oh, 21.
Right, Ripper, you can feel it giving you some support.
Can you see it on the campaign thing?
I can see it, yeah. It gives you a little bit of extra support. It's that close. And there is a giant cheer in the crowd, and Wrigley turns around and says, "Well, that was some act. I mean, there was a lot more talking than we normally get, but all kinds of people come to the Revel. That was not bad. 2 easies and a hard. That means here is your reward, young man." And he reaches out and gives you 30 gold. And says, "What a time. Now, are you swapping positions, or are we gonna cut away?" You're muted.
I give him 5 gold back, and I try and ping the hat off of his head so it comes flying off so I can grab it. In a friendly gesture.
Sleight of hand check.
Okay. $18.
With a 21, he goes, "I said all 5 to get the hats. No banana, mon compadre."
I'm just gonna throw 1 knife at the board.
Make
For 15.
If there was someone on there, that would have been really good.
See, it's not that difficult. All right, fair enough, 6. So maybe you're good at some things, maybe you're not. I'm also gonna I'm gonna rub my thighs and give myself my health back. All right, look, fair enough, right? But the next time you got me in a compromising position, there better be beer involved.
Octavius, what are you doing whilst all this is happening?
So I was watching them, from the distance, head behind a pole. But I think eventually I start moving off, realizing, oh yeah, this is pretty normal, and he's just gonna go for a bit of a stroll.
Okay, so make a perception check for me.
23.
So you see several more stalls, all filled with the kind of things that Octavius wouldn't naturally be drawn towards. There are, lots of games of cards, there's some juggling. You two walk past the Museum of Wonders, and you find yourself kind of being drawn, pontoon after pontoon, closer and closer to the red tents. You see Faeza and Lack and Toots just ahead of you, and can kind of...
And the thing is, Faeza, it wasn't even an owlbear.
Did I see any
It was
dice?
a bear with an owl head.
Games.
You do. As you can hear Lack and Faeza, you do see a little dice.
Yeah, head, body moves, head, stays in the same position for a while, and he sort of
Like an owl.
walks back round and walks straight into the dice tent.
Grand. Okay, so you walk down, and really quickly a young lady pops up, and you can see that she's got almost like fish scales painted under her eyes that kind of going down behind her neck. I'm going to say a bit like, you know how the trills in DS9 have those patterns that move around? A little bit like that. And he goes, well, good morning there. How can I be helping? Were you here for games of chance, or are you here for games of skill?
Skill.
Right, well, come and have a seat then. And she ushers you over. And in here you find it's really thick with smoke, as there's kind of incense coming off all the tables. And there are, you see kind of a number of burly people, including a, what looks like a kind of a tiefling with these strange horns, sat there, laughing. And you're sat down opposite someone, as kind of like someone gets up and moves away. And she goes, just have a seat there. And guy sits down and goes, hello there, let me explain how this is going to work for you. Nice and simple. I've got a dice, you've got a dice. Basically, we are here to try and who can get the highest number of dice. After each one, we put an extra dice in. We keep going, and at the end, we show. Whoever's got the higher number wins. In real world mechanics, here's what's going to happen. Basically, this is a familiar game that we played back in our Eberron campaign a long, long time ago.
Okay.
There are 5 stages. First stage, as you sit down, you are going to roll an insight to determine your opponent's skill. This is a game where you're essentially trying to outbluff your opponent.
Okay.
Johnny's just happy it's not.
So
it's
the
not my dice.
reason
Paydrig fucking
Woo!
paid for everything, didn't he? with
Yeah,
this
he
game?
was he cleaned out a casino.
Yeah.
So
That
the
was pretty
reason
bonkers.
why I chose this is because I'm proficient in dice.
Okay, so I'm going to say you can add your proficiency check to everything you do here then.
Okay.
Your
Well, I'm already
proficiency
proficient in insight, but okay.
Yeah. So firstly, you number one. So it's basically it's kind of thing where you see the guy rolls, kind of thing, puts the thing down. He's got the dice covered, and he looks down, sees a number. He reaches over, and he instantly puts 2 gold in the pot. So
Okay.
you can roll an insight check.
I will roll an insight check. Oh, it ticked over from a 17 to a 7, so 15.
15. You get the sense that this guy is probably pretty good at keeping a straight face. He's probably fairly experienced at this game, but he's not giving it. His hand probably okay, but not great. So then, stage 2, I would like you to roll 4d6 for me.
4d6, no problem. That one's cocked. Okay. Now, am I telling you the number?
No.
Okay.
Well, above the table, yeah, because obviously
Oh,
I'm
okay.
perfectly capable of being 2 people.
So that's a 1, a
Oh,
2,
Bradley.
and a 3.
Okay.
Bradley.
So
For a
I'm
total of
never
7.
going to the casino with you, Brad.
Jeez, Louis.
Never going to the
This is
casino
where
with you.
it's lucky you chose a game of skill, because essentially you have a chance, like in poker, to up the ante and bluff him. So you can make a persuasion or intimidation check. You can choose to fold and walk away, and you will just lose your buy-in, which will be, like, we'll call it a gold.
Okay. I'm allowed to add my proficiencies to this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take the risk with
Yeah, why not? It's
Persuasion.
fun.
Why not?
Yeah. So that'll be persuasion plus 3 for a 6.
Isn't that
Okay.
isn't that what your dice added up to anyway?
It's right. In real life, Ryan, my luck's really good.
Okay. So you're gonna up the ante. You're gonna match him.
Yes.
Okay. How much by?
10 gold.
So you're gonna put 10 gold in.
Yeah.
He looks at it, looks at you for a moment. He's gonna roll insight against a 6. I will tell you, it's just a flat d20. He's not adding anything to it.
Okay.
Commoner stats. He reaches out. Well played, friend. And he's going to just push the money towards you. He rolled a 5. And you get the pot. So it's 10 plus the 10 you put in there, plus the 2 plus the buy-in. So it's like, what, 14 gold?
See, there we go, Ryan. My luck is always good.
In fact, you won that and you won that. Times 3, because the house adds on a...
Oh, so I won
bit.
66 gold.
Yes.
Very nice.
It's
Okay.
nice.
At
Take
this moment,
take the value of that, and that's how much damage I got from 2 knives in the thighs.
what, 66?
No, but 6 and 6, didn't I?
Oh, right. Okay, fair. So, as this is going on, Lak and Faeza, as you are moving towards the centre, I'm kind of going to push you narratively and say that the rest of you end up talking and walking, doing your things. Six and Ripper, you see Octavius kind of walking out of the dice tent. After a certain amount of time, Octavius can have been there longer if he wanted to be.
Can I have had my hood back up and trying to walk out discreetly, please?
Sure, make a stealth check.
Okay, I've still got up. That lasts an hour. That thing under concentration, so that'll be.
What school of magic is it, by the way?
It is. I didn't fucking check, did I?
Because it's the first time you tried...
Abjuration.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah. So I
that's
rolled a
fine.
natural 20, so 34.
Yeah, you sneak out of a tent with
You know what?
perfect ease.
I'm so happy that Octavius has taken my advice and just gone on. We haven't seen him at all since we've gotten this place. You know, I'm really happy that he's actually off somewhere enjoying himself for once. You know.
And you find yourselves all kind of spiraling slowly
Jesus.
towards
Right.
the red tent. You go past, you can play some more games at some of the stalls, and you start talking. 2 things are going to happen at once. Firstly, Faeza, you look around, and can you just make a perception check?
Oh, I've got an 8. It's not very good.
You look around, something's really wrong. Takes you a moment, because Lak's still talking, you two are still kind of talking about the museum, and then you realise Toots isn't with you.
No! No, 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 no.
Oh,
Octavius laxed his guard for 1 second, cruxing on dice, and we lost Toots.
What? Okay. Just tugging like sleep. Lack. You're taller. You're taller
Yes.
than me. Can you see Toots? Can you
It's
see
good.
Toots?
Mm.
Toots.
Can I have-
Toots.
As you go to make a perception check, you hear a voice in your head. It's time. Come now, even if you're alone. Get to the red tent. I'm waiting.
Okay.
Time is short.
Toots,
Maybe
Toots,
maybe Toots
Toots.
knows where we're going. Going to the red tent. Let's go.
Okay.
Did he have, were they wearing one of the bracelets?
I'm assuming that she didn't get given a bracelet.
Are we all together at this
Isn't
point?
it?
Or...
Yeah.
Bangle?
You all
Okay,
together.
Six just goes. He's like, you know, when someone's like on a mission and they're like, I'm gonna look and find them. Let's find an authority figure and like, you know, look her in the crowd.
I
And
think
stuff.
maybe we
okay.
should break a bracelet so that we
That's
know
gone.
what.
That like maybe we should go to the red tent. And he goes.
I'm gonna follow Lack.
Faeza's just complete like okay, and she follows Lack. She's like looking all the way around, just you know.
I'm gonna break my bracelet and follow.
Okay. So as you break your bracelet, Faeza, can you make a perception check at disadvantage? At disadvantage?
Yes.
Cool. Lack, can you make a stealth check for me?
Is he within range of me?
Yes. Just still.
That's sadly for him a 26, which is low.
Faeza, you can't see Lack. He's disappeared into the crowd. As you look around, the only one you can kind of see Six still pushing off. You can see Ripper's kind of somewhere with Octavius, and the party seems to be split, heading in different directions. I'm going to do one more little bit. Lack, you push on. Outside the tent, giant red pavilion, open at all sides. It's got 13 sides on it, although you can't see that from your position. And you get the sense that there's kind of like other tents and things inside as well. You can just hear the roar of a crowd coming out of this tent. And standing outside, you see the figure from earlier, who looks up at you, smiles, and walks over and says, "Hello, Lakrishnu. I've been waiting for you. My name is Offloki." And that's where we're going to cut tonight. We will pick this up next week.
Damn!
Shit.
Damn!
Deep cuts!
Split party.
Split party.
Fucking off Loki.
Fucking off Loki.
Fucking off Loki.
Shit just got real, yo. We'll find out in 2 weeks. If that makes no sense, please feel free to listen to the Summers podcast to find out why Off Loki is whack. Brad has personal beef with him.
No. I don't.
Oh no, you don't.
I was the one that followed him. Sean has personal beef with off Loki.
Sixsmith, it's fine. We'll pick up this totally fine situation next week. Will Faeza get Toots back? Will Octavius be fine for breaking his bracelet? And just what does Offloki want with Ripper? With Lack?
It is unfortunate. It will be a Ripperless week next week. So I very much enjoyed everyone playing Ripper like you did before. So you can either roll him into the scenarios, or he is just literally, or we can find him in a heap in 2 weeks' time in a back tent somewhere, covered in red dust and glitter probably.
And people.
Yeah, and people. Yeah, it'd be like that scene in The Boat That Rocked, where they're like, "Where are all the?" And they always go to Mark's room.
Just gonna walk out half naked, covered in goat feathers.
Something like that. You're right, guys. What's been going on? But I'm excited to see what Blocoke or whatever you just called him was.
Offloki.
That's the one. Yeah. Whatever they what they did.
Well, I'm glad you've enjoyed your rest time, the time of no danger.
The calm before the storm.
Yeah.
Well, no danger.
Those chilies were not the calm, were they?
Yeah.
That was epic. That was truly wonderful. I enjoyed that. That was my favourite moment ever of our friendship. 20-something years. That's the best, mate.
Oh man, that was good. That was interesting. Yeah, I'm glad I did it. You know, like once the fear goes and the pain goes, then you have the glow, the natural
Although
glow.
I just burped up chili and it's hot. So,
Yeah.
It's coming back.
Now, disclaimer: if you do get really ill,
I blame it on
that.
Sirenscape, because good stomachs need good food, or whatever their phrase is.
Epic games do need epic sounds.
That's the
correct.
one, yeah.
Well done. Thanks for linking us in. Thank you so much.
Epic chilies need epic growth conditions. That's what it is.
And Epic Games need epic sound. Please check out the link in our description for all the Sirenscape sound sets we use. They help bring our games to life. Thank you, Foundry VTT and D&D Beyond, for hosting our other online tools that we use to make the game wonderful. It is great. Right, where can people catch up with us?
You can find us wherever you listen to good podcasts, just by searching Blood and Song. If you search Blood and Song, Erionwel on YouTube is where you can beat the algorithm to find all of the episodes that we've published, and also some lore that we've done before. And you can also find us at Twitter at Blood Song Party, and Blood and Song on Instagram and Facebook.
Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you very much next week and picking up this story. Until then, may the Great Mother guide you in all that you do. Good night.